This show is sponsored by Singles Sealed Memorabilia. Find them on Instagram at Singled Sealed Memorabilia or on eBay. Search for the username Singles Sealed Memorabilia. They are turning their collecting hobby and passion into a shop dream, bringing a variety of wrestling cards to collectors all around the world. They also create their own mystery bundles and bring other unusual cards to the graded scene. They have 100% positive eBay customer feedback with over 3,000 sales. We do thank Singles Sealed Memorabilia for their support of the Squared Circle Relics podcast.
And now, presenting from across the pond, it's the Squared Circle Relics podcast.
Hello there! It's your boy, the President, David Lloyd, and I'm here with Jamie and Chris. Hi boys, how you doing?
Hello.
Hello, you're right.
It's a very husky Chris.
Hello. It was a very husky Chris and a very high-pitched Lloydy.
Yeah, no, I thought I'd offset it a bit. How you doing, Chris?
Yeah, I've been better. Yeah, my whole family's ill at the moment, so yeah, I'm dosed up to the eyeballs with everything you can imagine.
A summer holiday bug.
Well, yeah, it was annoying because my oldest went away last week with my dad and like extended family, like my uncle and stuff. And he brought me back a lovely present, which was this fucking cold. So yeah, thanks.
Cheers for that.
Cheers, mate.
Everything else good?
How are you boys? Yeah, I'm good other than that. How about you guys?
How's it going, James?
Yeah, all good. Yeah, not too bad at all. Just ticking along nicely, getting back in the routine after having our little break and stuff. Looking forward to the next, and weather's all right. So yeah, all good over here at the minute.
Nice.
What about you, Lloydy?
Well, I'm now on my half term.
Your half
I'm my half term. So no, I'm taking 2 weeks off work. So it's the little boy nursery's out. So I think they go back in a couple of weeks. But he's been doing because it's in term times and stuff like that. So he's been doing like I can't remember what they call it, an extra club to tide him through. And now we've got 2 weeks off, and we're gonna go down to the coast and stuff like that. So we've got loads of stuff planned. So looking forward to it. But he has been a bit ill as well, and Jem and I are both fighting off a bit of a dry throat ourselves. But it's all good. It's all good. Currently, though, I'm sweating. It's really hot in my room.
It's so humid, isn't it?
Oh, it's so humid. And the little boy's got the Dyson fan in, like, raging next to him. So I'm sweating away at the minute. Lovely.
Yeah,
just what you guys wanted to hear, I'm sure.
No, I'm the same here. So where I normally sit, I've got a window, but the sun actually sets into this window, as you can probably see. Yeah. But it just becomes like a greenhouse. You think, but yeah. We'll be moaning when it's dark and cold, won't we?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Mine is the amount of crap that I have in my small office.
You're insulated.
Just heats it up. Yeah, really.
Insulated by fungos. So that was that cough you just heard was him laughing. That was a cough laugh.
Yeah, trying not to cough my arse off. Jesus.
All right, cool. So what we've been watching, guys, I preference this one. I've not watched a lot. So, Chris, have you been watching a lot? Because let's just go to Jamie. Jamie,
I've not been watching a lot. Jamie,
what's going on?
How's wrestling?
Actually, look, I've followed AEW as I always do. I been making a habit of actually watching Collision Sunday mornings, which is quite a nice old school sort of feel. Watching a 2-hour show with your cereal, you know. I've been watching AEW, but something really quite. So I've been talking to the Extreme Gamer. He's on Instagram and stuff quite a bit about, you know, VHSs and stuff.
Yeah.
And he put an appeal out online asking for anyone who's got any recordings of UK, you know, TV from WWF, any Channel 4 stuff. Anyway, me being the Heat and stuff like that, Channel 4 stuff, anything like that. Yeah. And I was like, I'm messaging, being the fucking nerd I am, I've got hundreds of tapes. So I like taped every fucking thing possible. So we went up in the loft at the weekend, and of course it was roasting up there, but brought all the tapes down. I've been watching I watched Vengeance 2001 off Channel 4, watched the Rumble 2000, found an old Wrestling Channel tape from Sky. So I've been watching a load of old VHS tapes, and I'm basically ripping them for him and sort of send them over to him. So yeah,
that was
busy
like
archiving
peak
at the minute, which is
around
cool.
the 2000s on Channel 4. That was like peak.
Oh yeah.
Mate, it's unbelievable as well. Like, you forget how much they chopped and fucked around with a lot of the stuff, especially Sky One. Like, any chair shot, cut to the crowd, like, and then it really abruptly. It's just like, how did we do it?
No, it's amazing.
I
do
so yeah, so I'm watching a lot of old stuff at the minute, which is quite nice.
No, that's cool. What's going on with AEW? Anything that we need to talk about up until... So the big topic today is actually going to be All In, right? So we're going to talk about... Has anything happened that leading up to All In that we...
We've kind of got this kind of like slow build, haven't we? And we'll talk in the big topic, like we are getting somewhere a bit more now. But there's nothing really that still screams to me like something I would expect to be blockbuster, that you would expect to be the biggest wrestling show of all time in theory.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you know, Collision's a pretty solid show. It's easy to watch, quite a nice finish with Samoa Joe attacking Punk and put him out in a sleeper in the crowd, and then Punk undoes all the hard work by having a pop post show. But there you go. But yeah,
And then gets rid of Dolph Ziggler's brother as well.
yeah, and Matt Hardy and head of talent relations.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It does amaze you.
Definitely his show. Let's just say that.
It's a very dangerous thing to have head of talent relations being told that they can't enter the building because they're too friendly with the elite.
Yeah.
You know, you can't imagine back in the day they clicked telling that Jim Ross couldn't be backstage. Do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. But there you go. It's what it is. Tony's got his finger on the pulse, I'm sure. He knows what he's doing.
Right. We'll go to wrestling card news. There's not much, to be honest. We've had a lot of news recently. I think this is kind of a dip, really. So, AEW new arrivals, Aussie Open.
Aussie.
Did we go for it?
I didn't, because our good friend Matt, on his hunt for silvers and golds, gets a load of base. So I just grabbed a base off of Matt. So thank you once again, Matt. How about you guys?
Matt saving the day.
How'd you get on, Jay?
I didn't buy any,
No?
and I should have done. I saw it in the group. I thought I'll do that tonight, and then I bloody forgot. So more for me, but I'll pick one up at some point, I'm sure.
Yeah, so I won and done it originally, and I got
Originally, the keyword.
I got a silver on the first. I thought one and done. I got a silver. Happy days.
That's good.
But I realised how much I do like Aussie Open, and they've been a big part of my BritRes life for the last 10 years. Well, I can't remember when they came over, to be honest. I think 2015, 16. Anyway, so I got reasonably pie-eyed the other night. I had 4 beers and a mojito. I wouldn't class that. I wouldn't class that as a very drunken night. But,
And there's a little umbrella in it. You were away.
Oh no! But I came back and went. You know what? I'm gonna get these new rivals. I'm gonna get this gold. I didn't even get another silver, and I think I got another about 5-6 packs.
There you go,
So
Jamie.
if you want one, Jamie, I've got.
I might hit you up, buddy, yeah.
There you go. Silly me. WWE Panini Instance, so the Great American Bash, we had Tony and Stacks winning, Stacks, winning the tag titles. Tiffany Stratton doing a surfboard on someone, I can't remember who she was up against. Roxy Perez, Dom winning is being Dom and winning, and Carmelo Hayes slam dunking somebody's head to the canvas. Did anyone get any of these?
Negative.
I didn't know they were even going. They were very low key.
Yeah.
How did you find out? Did you just check or?
Someone posted them on the ATP group.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I
Right,
just kept
okay.
an eye.
Someone did.
So I think all the 101s got sold. I think obviously the Tiff and the Roxy 5s went, but I'm pretty sure the Tony, the Dom, and the Hayes still had out of 5s left last time I looked, and the out of 5s were going for about $50.
Okay.
The 101s are obviously 100, like 99,
Right, okay.
99. So yeah, guys, if you're listening to this and we're out by the weekend, this weekend, and they're still there, pick them up. They're going to still be worth something, I tell you. So
yeah, no, especially those names as well.
yeah, exactly. I think.
Can I just ask really quick before we move on? Did we get Money in the Bank ones? Did I just miss that?
Did. Yeah, we did.
We did. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I just missed that, or don't remember.
I was so close to buying the Seth one because it looked really good. It was him basically standing in the middle of the ramp, and you could see the crowd behind them and the ramp. It looked really good. And I just thought to myself, you know what? I'd rather somebody who was at the show to get that, because that would mean more to them than it would to me. But I'm 100%, 99.9% sure somebody who didn't go to the show probably picked it up, right? So, and that was the one of one. So I had the chance of getting that, and I pulled out just because I didn't want to take it away from someone.
Karma.
Yeah. But what's the betting? Someone else just picked it up and went, you know what I mean?
I'll tell you, with that same ethos as well, when they do the match day moments for All In, I'm going to be spunking so much money on that. Jesus, I'll be going after the gold and silver and everything.
Well, you're going to have to, aren't you, really?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. We got it.
I think the biggest thing that occurred over the last 2 weeks since we've did our last show was the Select Blasters came out in the wild quite virulently. And there's been quite a lot of ripping of those, I would say, across the OTP. They haven't really made it their way over to us.
Sports Trading have got them.
Not wildly at the minute.
The
only, there's not
only guys.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot
haven't seen anyone
that's
else
gone up on eBay or anything like that compared to in the States and stuff. But
no way.
So the big selling point from them is that they had mezzanine silvers and mezzanine die cuts, and tigers as well. No elephants this year, just tigers. They've reined in the arc, basically. Nice for them. You can still get the regular stuff like orange flashes, gold flashes, red, white, and blues. They're all there.
Autos, I've seen someone pull an
autos, very in line, so not NXT UK as they were last year, more NXT and Legends. Like, I think they do that on most blasters. I think a lot of those just go in there, and they're obviously the flash version of the autographs. So I think that, for me, from what I've seen, a success.
I think I've been looking them on eBay and stuff just to keep an eye, because obviously the Mezzes, it's the first time we're seeing those images. So I've been keeping an eye on them on eBay and stuff, but I'm a big fan of these die cuts. I think they're really a cool little addition to Select this year. It just gives that little bit of a difference that we haven't seen before.
Well, I'll speak about that more in my purchases, but I have a couple of die cuts actually. There's two to talk about. So all good. And I'm with you on it. The only thing is, not a lot's coming up on eBay at the minute. It's really weird. Especially the mezzanine and Mezz die cuts. There hasn't been a hell of a lot that's dropped on eBay. So, and this is OTP eBay, not our eBay. God, heavens above, we wouldn't get ours. But it's been quite dry. So it's very hard to gauge where the price is at the minute, but let's speak more about that in a bit. So only another couple of points to make on the news. These ones we have talked about in the ATP group, so I thought I'd raise them here. So Corey Bastion, women's division, uncirculated pages. All different numbering as well, up until 25, I think it was. So I think
it's got pretty much the big range there.
Yeah, so I think it was like 199 up to 25. What were we thinking about this?
Me and Chris kind of did we discuss this last time, Chris? I can't remember if we did or didn't. It was on the chat. Wasn't about redemptions, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So because
you was
sorry.
No, go on, bud.
No, I was going to say. I had this idea that it may be sort of redemptions or substitutes, but Corey's obviously got a lot of them there. But he did put a picture up on Twitter earlier in the week and just said that he's got these available. And I just replied back and said, maybe these are redemptions, etc. That might be substitutions or whatever. and he did like the tweets. I don't know if he's had a hell of a lot of stuff and he's just got a load of pages, or if he's, I don't know. It's very strange though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is very strange because it's very edge casey, because obviously you know that Topps are having to do replacements, so they're going to have to replace with whatever they've got in store, and potentially these got pulled because Page left. Yeah. So they probably are there, but it obviously is quite weird because obviously Page has left and has been in the company for a while now. So it's basically a company who doesn't have the actual license with WWE, giving out replacements for a person who's left about a year and a half ago anyway. So it feels really convoluted and weird, but I like it. I think it's great. It's Topps, man. Yeah.
There is a bit of a weird thing here as well, because it's been such a long time, 18 months since Topps has stopped. You've got to think how many redemptions are actually still open out there, who hasn't already been redeemed, and ultimately what's still lingering. And really, there may only be that amount of people who actually still have outstanding redemptions. I can't imagine there's millions of people still waiting for Charlotte Flairs and stuff. You imagine they would have been filled by now, and any redemptions out there unclaimed will be out of date by this point, won't they? So there's going to be no further redemption. So it might just be leftover stuff they've got, and they're just filling it with whatever to at least honour them in some way,
It could be like I can refer it back a bit to Panini and what they're doing, because Panini is just absolutely, honestly, out of their minds at the minute with this kind of stuff. So obviously I've talked about this before, that I have something at Panini that's been going for a long period of time now, and I think it's like 18 months, but it's 12 months since I asked for a replacement. I got in contact with them recently and said, well, do you think, obviously they came back and said, pandemic, right, okay, I think that only goes so far, because we've kind of been out of the pandemic for about a year and a half now anyway, really. So, and my whole thing back to them was, well, you've done this to yourselves because of the pandemic, you couldn't get autographs, but you, instead of taking them out of the set entirely, you put them as redemptions. Haven't been able to fulfill the redemptions. People have then gone to replacements, and you can't fulfill the replacements. Yeah. So you've done this all to yourself, and you're not expecting people moan at you. Their reply back to me was basically either take points or come back to us in a couple of months' time. And my whole thing back to them was really, what if I come back to you in 3 months' time? What's going to be the difference?
Yeah. I kind of had the same conversation with Topps last week. So, I've got this one for Chris, what I put in for him. Now, I went for the substitute. I can't remember. It must be beginning of the year, maybe end of last year. I put him for the substitute. They told me then it's going to be 6 to 8 weeks to fulfill, and haven't heard anything since. So I phoned up Topps in Milton Keynes. They no longer have a customer service number in Milton Keynes. It just goes through the reception, and she said, you can only now send them an email.
Oh, do you want me to go over there with a baseball?
But I got no reply from the email. Yeah. So I actually then phoned up Topps Redemptions in the US earlier in the week, and this is when they said to me that their excuse for it not being within 6 to 8 weeks was that they're moving storage units, and now they have moved. They're now going to start filling redemptions.
Jesus.
But it's all crap. It's just ridiculous.
Excuses after excuses.
Really and he said to me, it'll be fulfilled by the end of the week. Well, now midweek the following week, and it still sits there as a substitute.
Trav's got a good story as well. So he bought something off of eBay, and it was factory damaged. So he put that back in and said, look, I would like it to be I want a replacement, but I want it fixed. By that meaning, it's not really a replacement. It's basically they will go into their archives, find the vault copy, and make another copy of it.
Right.
So they would, and then just throw the other one away that he's given them, rip it up, and then give him a new version. That's kind of it is a replacement, but it's kind of like a replacement due to damage.
Okay.
And they told him that they were just finishing facilitating off the year 2000 cards. So this one that he's given them effectively, I believe, is a 2022 card. I think it was 2020 that they just finished, and that's just the breaks of the these are replacements from the ones that are factory damaged, right? These are not just replacement ones. Yeah. How far do you reckon they're back in replacements? It's a completely different department, by the way. It's not the same department. Yeah. How bad is that? Like, it's I think they're all screwed, to be honest. I just don't think they've got the facilities in order to facilitate what they've caused. They've obviously, Panini's had their class action lawsuit. So when this kind of stuff happens with Corey Bastion, and going back and off this tangent that we've seemed to go on, but going back to the Corey Bastion thing, I'm not surprised if this is all from redemptions from Tosh.
Yeah.
But it'd be good to find out exactly.
It's not the first time I've seen this page one either. I've seen another guy in the States, a guy called Steven, had a fair few as well. So maybe I might reach out to him and see if he's got any more details about it. Yeah.
It is interesting seeing that picture that Corey put with, like, the, 8 where he put up there. The vast difference between the quality of auto on that card is mental as well. Like, there's some that's like really messy P and then the G. There's some a perfect page. It's incredible, like how different her auto is across those stickers. It's crazy.
Are they stickers or are they're on card? I can't remember. I think they're stickers.
I think.
I can't remember. I think they're stickers.
I'll double check. I thought they were stickers, but I'll double check.
Because some of that set was on card and some of that set was stickers, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, I think my Candice LeRae I got was.
Yeah. Which is frustrating when you get half and half, because you never know which is which. You never remember which is which.
Yeah, these were stickers.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, interesting.
We'll move over then to one for you, Jamie. Card Noise Vikingo. Full auto card.
I like this. I like this a lot.
Card Noise is Benji Montoya. We know him off of the Major Pod people. He's one of them lot, basically, from back in the day. So he does some great cards of Card Noise. I think they're really cool. They're up there with, startup cards. So, Jamie, are you going to get it?
I think I am. I was really keen on trying to get a Vikingo in the Leaf.
Yeah.
But there is a bit of sort of mix with that there, because it's on a sticker. Like, you don't get that full auto. It's either put Vikingo or sort of a partial auto. But having that as an on-card auto, and you can put the full name, that it looks really nice, and the image is really nice as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and pick this up as soon as I can, I think.
Cool. I thought you would, because the autograph looks really good as well. I think it would be a nice bit of your PC there, actually.
Yeah, it's a nice piece.
Yeah.
Just before we move on from this as well, we mentioned the MJF Leaf card that was on that limited run. So that actually closed, I think, beginning of the week, and the final print one for that was only $49.
Yep.
And I think for $150, that is a good price for that, to get a card that is only to $49 in theory.
You say that, but I'm like, well, if it was more popular, more people would have bought it.
Yeah,
I see what I mean. Like, I
think maybe it slipped under the radar in some way, but as we said it's $150. Yeah, but you can't get an AEW authorized auto for that from any of the sets.
No, I agree.
So yeah, I'm the price point I think is good. I'm surprised it didn't go more than that, but it is what it is. If you pick it up, I think you've got a good investment piece there.
I think so, but is it just where we are in the hobby with 1 AEW and 2 MJF currently? I don't know. I mean,
or Leaf.
Yeah, Leaf's might be on a downer. Yeah,
you know what I mean. It could be. It could be all three, but I just don't know. Like, I would have expected it to sell at least 250 or something like that.
I would have thought you were at triple figures, but yeah,
at least 100. Yeah,
I thought it would go further than that. I really thought, because like when Ric Flair sells and it's a cheap one for Ric Flair, he always gets about 300 odd. Well, even Hogan is normally. I mean, I got one for 112 out of 112, but that was the re-image card that not a lot of people liked.
Yeah,
so
the Hulk one, isn't it? Yeah,
I don't know, man. I'm starting to think there's not a lot of love for AEW cards at the minute.
Yeah, I guess that just shows you as well where thoughts are on AEW as a product at the minute as well. Like it's not, it's a very cool compared to WWE at the minute, isn't it? So yeah, just interesting. I was really surprised to see it was only 49. I thought I'd just mention it quickly.
And before we go into release dates, and the only release dates we can really talk about is AEW, sadly. But before I go, just to follow up from last week, breaking news. So I looked today at ComC and I did an update. It was their 1.2 update for iOS, and my pounds have now changed to dollars. So they have fixed the bug. Yay. Didn't really mean much. Yeah. I felt quite elated this morning. I was like, I did something good.
Liberated.
Yeah, I
liberated the app.
Liberated the dollar, the iOS dollar, for people in the UK, maybe specifically just for people in the UK. I don't know. But
you should have a look at the app notes and see if they mentioned in the update notes that it's got on there.
I did have a look on the brief notes, and it just said bug fixes.
Oh, okay, well that's not.
It doesn't. It didn't go as far as like, changing pound into dollar for UK
pound to yank money.
Yeah. So yank money. Yeah. Release dates wise, AEW Metal 30th of the 8th. So potentially end of August. AEW 2023 that did have a release date, and that was like mid-July. That was like the 12th of July.
Yeah, I think so, something like that.
That now doesn't have a date anymore. And neither does a law, so they're all TBC or TBD. So,
I did see a YouTuber earlier in the week, and he was like, "Oh, this is a full-on preview of the set before it's released later on this month." And I thought, it's now not got a date on it. I wonder, it's not good. But
I mean, the thing is, it's a perfect time now. Because there is no WWE stuff that's in there now. So why not just whatever they can do now,
just
get it out while you've got the time and the buzz to do it, especially with All In coming up.
Yeah, a couple of days beforehand.
Just do that. And if they don't, oh my God, seriously.
And while they're at it, get Series 2 up on EPAC as well. Pull your finger out with that.
Series 2 is on EPAC.
Is it on EPAC? What, flagship?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll take that back. My apologies, Upper Deck. I got it wrong.
It's been up for about 5 months.
Well, get something else on EPAC. Anything.
Tell him, Jay.
Fucking slackers.
Give him shit, Jay. Okay. Well, give more shit then. So, let's transcend into Jamie's corner. Go on, Jamie.
What's going on in the corner? Let's start off with our usual in the corner then. Stock up. We are still waiting for a trade on Leilani Kai, not Dakota Kai's mum. No takers on it. I'm wondering whether or not anybody does want this poor woman's card. Yeah, that's where we're at. I think we're kind of a little bit of a stalemate, really. Yeah, kind of want to try and get a trade up. So anyone interested in doing a trade for it, it is a Topps 2016 auto.
Yeah,
I think it's her first Legends auto that she had by an official, company. So it's official Topps. Nice auto, nice clean Legends auto. Pick it up. It's out of 99. We'll try and do a bit of a deal ski on it. Hopefully by next episode we would have had a trade lined up. If not, I need to widen the search. I want to try and keep it within ATP, but if I have to go across the pond, then I will. But yeah, hit me up if anyone's interested in that, really.
Cool. Anything else?
Not really. Pretty quiet in the corner at the minute. We're kind of on a summer shutdown in the corner, so yeah, all quiet on this side of things. So I think we can move away from the corner quite quick.
Okay, so we'll move on then to Chris's Nook.
Hello, right. Welcome to Chris's Nook once again.
Chris's ill Nook.
My ill Nook. I'm going to try and get through this without coughing and dying. So as we know, Jamie won last time out, and he chose Stone Cold Stunners. I was buying for Jamie, Dave was buying for me, and Jamie for Dave. So, who wants to go first? Or Jamie, do you need to explain?
I need to explain something. You have to tell me if I have to be included or voided for this, right?
Okay.
So I had a bit of problem with mine. So I ordered it originally.
Right.
The guy wasn't sure if it did or didn't include any trading cards. So, and I said to him, well, can you look? He said, well, I can't look. It's on its way. I was like, oh, okay. So the magazine has been sent to Lloydy, minus cards.
I don't have any cards in it.
So, I have ordered a replacement, which hasn't yet arrived. So you can void me. I can tell you what the card is going to be. You can void me for not providing, or you can take pity on me for being $60 down and buying 2 magazines.
Jeez. It's a limit.
So, because I was determined to get this card here in time, but nonetheless, so you can void me for not providing a card, and you can take pity on me, and I'll share what the card would have been had you had it in hand.
Jamie, I think I speak for both me and Chris when I say you're completely disqualified. That's amazing. Of course, babe, we'll take pity,
just to bear in mind that each magazine only cost me about £8 in the first place. Oh, anyway, here's what it is.
I think I nearly had a stroke.
Wow.
So anyway, so when it arrives, you can decide if you want it or not. If not, you can just keep that magazine.
I did get a little toy camel with it as well.
You did. I thought you'd like that,
which is quite nice. Sadly, they're not here with me at the minute, but there are actually. If you do go in to the booth, I need to. Do you want me to go and get it? Because it's downstairs.
Yeah,
go and get it.
Okay.
I'll be opening mine.
Okay. Yeah, go
and you go and get yours. So this one came from Dave. Let's see what it is. What you like, Jamie? Jesus.
Right. Don't say I ain't a trier.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a treasure hunt.
Right. My cards are sellotaped together, so I've got 2 base cards on the outside. And I'm struggling to get the sellotape off them. There we go. Please don't be the same one. Oh, wow, nice. Oh, wow, this is a really nice card. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Dave. This is a really nice card. It's the die cut.
Oh.
Is it the stunner on Vince McMahon?
Yep. I think it is.
Yep, the one where he takes it terribly.
Yeah, that is nice.
Dave, that's a sick card.
Mate, that is a nice.
I don't want it back.
No, I bought another one. So this is the one that... This came out of my collection. Because I collected all of the finest of stuff. And I knew I had it. So I bought... Before I sent it to you, I bought another one via Trav. Because I can't buy one in the UK. So Trav has mine and he's going to ship it over in a bit. So.
Nice. Right, I'll do mine then.
So while you're doing that, the magazine does have stunners in it. But there is one page. There is one page. So I'm still trying to get my head around. I love it. Where is it? It's that there is an advert in here. Have you read this, Jamie?
No, I got it straight out to you.
Yeah, straight out. I
flicked through it, obviously, just to have a quick look through to see what was there. But
if
there's any cards,
there's a picture of Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Oh yes, I did.
With a Milky moustache.
Got milk.
Got milk.
I remember them. Yeah.
I don't remember that.
They were in all the wrestling mags of that era.
All of them back in the day.
Whymilk.com.
Yeah.
She honestly, her boobs are
loves
on
a bit
show.
of milk.
Her boobs are on show, and she's got a Milky tash.
That's peak Sarah Michelle Gellar. That's proper Buffy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm happy. This is. Anyway, go on, Jamie.
Can you imagine her getting the call for that though? We just need you to have a milky mustache. Anything else? No, just a milky mustache. It's fine.
Yeah, that's not.
Oh wait, get your boobs out.
That's not milk. Anyway, sorry, Jamie. Go on, you crack on.
No. So, do you want to know what your card should have been while you've got your magazine there?
A magazine card? The card that comes in the magazine?
Yeah,
I don't know. It's supposed to come in. Like, was it an insert in it or something?
So normally they come in the uncut page at the back.
Okay.
In the subscriber issue. So basically there's a 9-card sheet.
Okay.
Your middle image would have been the very first stunner card that I could find. It was the earliest stunner. It was on Owen Hart. So that would have been the stunner card you should have had. And you will still have when it arrives. But in the meantime, you can keep that. That's fine.
Okay. Have you got a picture of it, though?
Yes, I have. I'll send it over to you.
Okay. Well, you send it to Chris, because he needs to put it on and stuff like that. Okay.
So, right, I'll open mine up then.
Go on then, Jay.
Right, so it's not the first card. So, right, let's take this. Oh, this is another good stunner. Now, this is going to be quite a tough one, actually. So this one here is the WrestleMania 18 stunner. It's a Scott Hall, which is one of the most iconic stunners, the way it was sold.
Double stunner.
Yeah,
The double
cool.
Fell on the second.
Mate, this is going to be tough. You got that's a good card. That is a nice insert.
We bring the fire.
Yeah. You know what? Actually, that was a really, really good. I was a bit worried about. I had this horrible thought that we'd all end up with the Prism stunner from last year on game.
Oh, really?
And I was like, are we all going to have 3 of the stunners? But that was really good.
The card that I got Chris was the only card that I was going to get Chris. That was like
That's really cool.
First thing in my mind. Everyone loves a die cut. Die cuts.
Yeah.
I'm really happy. Yeah, I've never had one of them Stone Cold. Die
really?
cuts, so yeah.
Yeah, they're cool. Yeah, cool. Right. Okay, so we'll put that on for voting. Yeah. So in 2 weeks' time, we have a winner,
a new topic,
and then a new topic, and then we go from there. So lovely. Well done.
Sweet.
Purchases of the week, JB.
Another a fairly slim week for me this time around as well. Actually, I'll start off with sort of something that you mentioned last time. So you mentioned the Roman Reigns payback relic from 2020. Yes. So that night I went out and bought the relic straight away. I was like, actually, that's a bloody good idea to grab that. So I grabbed one straight away.
I'm so good at spending other people's money. It's unreal.
Well, I always kind of wanted to pick up Roman Reigns' first title run, but it's a shit image. But I didn't realise they actually done relics from the Thunderdome era. I just didn't expect them to do it.
Yeah.
But I thought, actually, now I know it's there, I'll grab that. That could be a nice piece for the future, especially if we keep going on and on with it. So, pick that up the night after we recorded. And my second purchase this week, I picked up on ComC, a bloody bargain, actually. PSA 9, Sting leaping off the crowd through a table. I think it was Revolution. Paid $8.24 for it. PSA 9 graded already.
Yeah.
That's so cool, yeah.
I don't know why it was so cheap. The guy took it on offer. He actually had it for $11 and I only had like $8. I thought, well, let's just try it. And he accepted it. But that cost him, even on the cheapest, that would have cost him $25 to get that graded.
Yeah.
I just don't know why you wouldn't even try and get your money back on it. But nonetheless, I'll take that. And that's going to be on its way over at some point. So, yeah, pretty quiet week for me. But a couple of nice pickups I'm pleased to have in the set anyway.
Cool.
Nice.
Chris?
Hello, right. Again, same as Jamie, a bit of a quiet one for me. Plenty of missed auctions, and I just wanted to put like a little kind of question to you. So I was bidding on quite a big card for me. It was the to 5 Bret Hart from Summertex Chrome. But there was also at the same time, there was another card, similar kind of value. And I kind of earmarked a certain amount of money for each. Mm-hmm. And then I didn't win either. Now, if I had just gone for one and put those two sums of money together, I would have at least won one. And I kind of thought, well, you've kind of fucked yourself over there. Just wondered if anyone else has ever done anything like that or just me.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, you have to think to yourself as well that the other I take it these were auctions, right? So people were bidding, right? Yeah. So you have to know. I take into more account that if someone else is bidding up, then are they going to come off at some point? Because otherwise it's just going to go up and up and up and up and up. It all depends on how badly that other person wants it. Like, when I went for that blonde Gellar and it went up to like $100, I knew that fight weren't going to give in until 200 plus at least. You know what I mean? So he got it really cheap, but I look at it as I saved myself potentially $200-300.
Yeah, of course.
That's it, yeah. And that could well have easily happened here. And I'd kind of set a limit, but now in hindsight, I'm like, should I have just taken the whole pot of money per se and just gone after this Bret Hart card?
But you might not have got that either.
It's to 5.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. That could well easily have happened, or I could have ended up paying, like close to 200 quid for
maybe double, maybe
card,
like. The thing is, you can't.
Yeah.
I know my answer didn't really answer yours, however, really, but ultimately, you just have to be happy on what you're going to pay for something and be strategic about it. Because
be happy. And be happy with what you paid as well, because there's no point. If there's only like those number of cards, there's only so many around. You don't resent having it, because you paid more than you really wanted to.
Absolutely, and I think that's what kind of stopped me. Is I was like, no, I can't. Where does it end?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like Dave said. So yeah, cool. I just wanted a little.
But there is another part of it. If you do think like that all the time, you're never going to bid for anything.
No.
So a lot of it goes back to what Jamie just said: is make sure that you're happy with what you're bidding up. Know your limits. However, if it's something that you really want and it is an extra 50, 100 quid more. Then is it then going to break the bank? That's what you got. That's what you got to think. No. I mean, like, it is what it is. Like, you just have to think to yourself, "It's done now." Next one comes up.
I kind of feel like the greed got the better of me because I was like, I could have both of these cards when really I should have just focused on one. But anyway, right. So from a break, I did another select break. I got the Ultimate Warrior Parts Unknown Global Icons.
Oh, nice.
Really cool one. And I got an AJ Styles Relic. It's green, so it's got a green t-shirt piece in there. I got in 2022 select an AJ Styles green relic as well. So I'm like, have I just started a new PC here? Do I now?
Green AJ.
Select comes out, I got to get the AJ green.
He only wore that t-shirt for like a week. And it's gone over for 2 years now. On it's just crazy, isn't it? They bought it in bulk.
Let's do a green one in 2024. And I finished off the Panini debut card, so I needed 2 cards. They turned up, both damaged.
Oh shit!
Which I kind of was like, no, I'm not going to do anything about this because it fits the set. Fucking shit cards. So I was like, shit condition, whatever. Who cares? It's done. Like 2 quid.
Were they just like normal base cards, or were they like?
Yeah, just the base cards.
Okay.
But they just had like a fold in them basically, where they'd got damaged in transit. So fits the set though, doesn't it? It's trash set, trash cards. So yeah, done and dusted though. And the last thing, it's not cards, video games. I bought shitloads of video games in the last week. I picked up like 7 or 8 wrestling video games. Went on a bit of a spree. Most of them were for like GameCube and original Xbox, and then I did also get some N64 games. But yeah, I don't know.
Nice.
I've got a lot of wrestling games, and I'm like trying to find these last sort of. It's probably like 10, 15 that I need to complete like everything basically. So yeah,
cool.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Dave?
Well, currently
you were busy than us.
Well, currently I'm still looking at Sarah Michelle Gellar's Milky Mouth. And Daddy like it.
Episode title.
Yeah, Sarah Michelle Gellar and his
Milky Mouth.
Oh god, lovely. So no, really, I kind of had. I had to spend out on my car, so that was like
mate.
That was like £1,000 of pain, new brakes, new discs, service, and stuff like that. So I myself have had a bit of a quiet one with regarding buying stuff. I did a break the other night. I did a couple of breaks. I did a select break, didn't do so well. I was retired from breaks. And I thought I'd do a select break to see if I was still hot. And I didn't do so well. So I thought, right, I'm not going to do any breaks again. And then Breaker Mayfield did a break 2 days ago. and it was for blasters. And I thought, well, I've always done well on blasters, and it was a 40 box break. He's doing 100 box breaks in the next couple of days. So, yeah, get on them.
A few caffeine drinks for him, jeez.
Well, the thing is, he had it at very reasonable prices. So basically every like normal wrestler that's not big was like, I think $7, and 30% off, you could get them for like $5. And then if nobody picked them up before when the show started, they were going for like $2 or $3 a time, basically. So I picked up quite a few on that one just to see how my luck was. And I did ask, because there was a couple of people that weren't on his list, and one of them was Bobby the Brain Heenan, and another one was Sandman. So he said, right, I'll list the two when I get time. And he did. And I got Bobby the Brain Heenan for $8.
That's not bad.
Sandman, boom, I didn't get. So there was always this person in Breaker Mayfield's and also Card Shop. I see her all the time. Her name's Kathy. Is it Kathy Lee?
Kathy.
Yeah. Kathy Lynn. And she always goes in there and buys up basically half the break.
Yeah, Lord.
So really?
Yeah.
Well, anybody or just particular things, or
she likes the legends.
She likes the legends and the rookies as well.
Yeah.
She always goes for Dolph. She always goes for Braun. It annoys me. But I was very lucky that she stopped, and I got Bobby the Brain Heenan for $8. So I felt quite thankful about that. She did pick up Sandman. I was like, oh, okay, whatever. So the break happened, and about 3 packets in, I hit a Bobby the Brain Heenan Mez silver die cut.
Oh, nice.
I still don't know how much money that card's worth. Because it does, like, there's hardly... I think there's... a Tony Atlas has just gone up for auction, actually. I know one of the Card Foundation people, I want to say Mike Frias? Can't remember. Picked up Paul Bearer one, which I think looks great as well. But
what's the Heenan image? Is it just the typical him pointing to his head, or
if you're not seeing it, it's the
no,
it's the one where he's in his golf.
He's got all his clubs.
He's got his golf
nice.
and all of his clubs everywhere. Yeah,
the one that was in the old Merlin one.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, it's him and obviously guerrilla skits that they used to do back in the day, and they're awesome.
Fucking amazing.
That's nice, because a different Heenan image that we wouldn't normally get, so that's cool.
I really think that it's Rhea, or that image is card of the set, to be honest. They are 2 great cards if you look at them. So
is it a Hall of Fame nominee for next year, is it?
Well, it definitely is, like when we're talking about the managers' cards recently.
Yeah.
But to hit a die cut on that, really, I didn't hit much else, to be honest. I think I got a Nikki Cross Mez and a couple of oranges, but nothing else after that card. But I was more than happy, you know what I mean? Like, those cards we don't even know if they're one a case currently.
No.
So I've seen a lot of silvers come out, Mezes. I've seen a lot of silver ring size come out as well. Not red, white, and blue, as well as red, white, and blue silvers as well. And I've seen a lot of those come out of the blasters, which is weird. Like the silver ring size are supposed to be case hits for the hobby, right? So I saw like 2 come out in 40 boxes.
Crazy. So, I think sometimes with stuff like this, if your luck's in, your luck's just in, and like sometimes it's fate when you get these things.
So I've always had luck. I've always had good luck with blasters. So I was hoping for good luck this time, and my God, did I get it? I was very happy.
Nice, well done.
I also picked up and this is thanks to Trav, because he pointed me to it. The Dolph Ziggler ringside silver die cut. So it's got a bit more out of it than the Mej does, but a bit of a chunk out of it. It looks like a punch ticket, basically. So very happy to get that. I haven't got many Dolph cards from this set, so I was happy to get that. I've gone for Dolph quite a lot in the boxes and not hit much, so that's the card that I'm walking away from that set with him from, really. And I've hit my grail again. So I know.
Do you want to tee up your music or not?
No, it's fine. It's fine. it's just crazy. Like, this is the second time now, which is lovely. So obviously I reported on it last time that I picked up the LA Knight. I have made a trade in order to get the Bron Color Blast.
Nice.
So it's going to be raw. So when I get it, obviously I'll showcase it off. But my Bron PC is awesome now. Jamie, you always said, I want to see it. When I get this card, I will showcase it now, because I think it's...
Nice.
I do need to get the rookie cards from ComSeer as well. When I've got everything of that across, I'll showcase it, because I think it's... Yeah, I'm pretty proud of it now.
So is Color Blast OTP, or is it within ATP?
OTP.
Nice. That's
OTP,
good. That's cool.
Yeah. So I just have to wait, and it's going to take some time to do the full transaction and stuff like that. But when it's all done, yeah, I literally will be buried with that card. That is that
Clutched.
for me. Yeah, that for me is the big one. As soon as they announced it, I was like, oh my God, I have to get it. But I don't want to obviously pay the money, because it's just going to be ridiculous. And to get it off the back of a trade is just ridiculous. So, yeah, very happy.
There's a logistical thing there as well. It's like, for a card like that, you kind of want to be in the States and pick up in hand and then bring it back. You don't want it flying or anything like that, you know?
No, I know. I'm pretty happy with the way, like, I've only lost a couple of cards in the
yeah,
match.
and I have this one.
And that's been ATP, not OTP.
Yeah,
so,
no, granted.
I'm pretty happy with the international. It's just time of the year, because, like, if this was like Christmas time, I would have waited until after Christmas time. I don't trust holiday periods of their side or our side, basically. It's just, not at all. So I'm really happy. Really, I just can't believe it. I'm more in shock than anything. And now, no Grail again, but I think I'm not going to have a Grail this time. I'm just going to see where life takes me.
Just sit and enjoy.
The thing is, it's great to go, oh yeah, I really want to get this card. This is the card. This is the big card I need for my PC. But when you then get it, you're like, okay,
what now?
Yeah, do I move on to the next? And I moved on to the next quite quickly, because the Color Blast was just there, and then I needed it for the Bron PC. And now I've got it. I'm like, well, where do I go now? And
what do I go after?
You know what I mean? Like, I'll always chase stuff, but I don't think there'll just be just one card that is the card I need. I just can't imagine it at the minute. So we'll see. Jamie, you don't really have like grails, do you?
I have, but I kind of got to the point where they're out of reach. So one of my grails was originally to get the Own Heart Auto for Superstars, and I achieved that.
There you go.
And I really wanted to get, obviously, the Rock when it was a lot cheaper, but that's now way out of my price bracket, you know? And the only other grail that I've really got, I want that Stephanie McMahon Championship Clash Auto. I really want that. And that's kind of like my peak that I want to get. Yeah. They're kind of like those cards, but again, they're just, the price of them now are just more than I've got right now. One day I'll sort of hopefully be able to get them, but yeah, that's the kind of stuff I'm really after, just trying to get those big autos, which are hard to get.
Chris, what's your... Obviously.
I wouldn't really say I had one, and one of the ones, if I was going to say anything, it was that one I mentioned earlier that I fucking missed. To 5 red Bret Hart. So I'm a little bit upset about that still.
Mate,
thanks.
There'll be.
There's only 5.
There'll be 4 others.
I know one of. Well, I know someone's got one of them, so I'm not going to get that.
There's 4 others.
There's only 3. There's 3 others.
The weird thing is, though, you'll probably
The other
have
person
more
might
luck.
sell.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The other two people, the other two, they might sell them on again.
You never know. You never know. That's it.
The weird thing is as well with that, though, that you'll probably have more luck getting the red Brett than you will getting the other Carl Anderson gold.
Yeah.
Like, it's just the way it is. Like, you'll see that Brett probably pop up more often.
Just remember, there was one Eddie Kingston penis card.
This is true.
Yeah.
And we all said that will never pop up again, and then it popped up.
Yeah.
Hard.
Booker T, I suppose, as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
Exactly. These
Mate,
things happen,
stranger things
mate.
happened.
These things happen, man. These things happen.
I need to have some faith.
Exactly.
It's not faith. This is not faith. Just no. Just know
just
it's
gonna
gonna
happen.
happen.
It's
It's
gonna
gonna
happen.
happen.
It will happen.
I like that.
It's just gonna happen. It's just
I
it's just time. That is the thing. Time elapses, and then it just happens.
Do you know what would be perfect if you opened one of your boxes of Slam Attacks and it was in that box? Now that would be beautiful,
Oh, I'd
wouldn't it?
freak out. Yeah, I would really freak out. I think.
Think of the
Even if I
YouTube
got, like,
hits
a
on that.
black or
Mate, you
something.
get it.
Crazy.
Don't ever feel down about not getting X, Y, and Z because it always does. Like, you think it doesn't pop up, and then it happens, and then you think, "Fuck, I really don't have the money for that right now." That's the worst thing, is that it happens when you don't really have the money, and you're like,
I'd find a way.
Yeah.
And that's what you do, like, you know,
always a way.
a bit like that MJF card with me. Like, I had to uplift some stuff that I didn't really want to part with, but I wanted that more, you know? Yeah, it is. That's art of collecting, isn't it, you know?
I need to start selling off some of my stuff as well. I'm getting to a point where I've just got too much now, which I just need to. I need to have a big. I might set up like an eBay store or something like that, or just like a flash sale and get it done, man.
Yeah, man, do it. My eBay the last sort of week or so has been going crazy with card sales. Like not anything major, but just like £5-10 here there. It's all adding up. So.
Yeah, no, that's why I've started like loading my things up on eBay. Like the expensive stuff, you obviously get that big cut taken off. But little things, like people pick up things, quite frequently on there now. I think we've got a lot more people open to buying on eBay now that people are more aware of different card sets. There's definitely more interesting cards over here over the past couple of years. I really think there is.
And this is why I say that the thing will pop up, because generally your Brett will pop up. Generally, a lot of the sales for it were done over here, not necessarily in America. It's only gone over to America because of the resales and Papa Bear buying everything.
Container load.
Yeah, exactly. So at the end of the day, mate, I'd be very, these things will just come up. You probably end up getting the 1 of 1. What colour's the 1 of 1? Or was it black? No, that was 10, wasn't it?
Super
Fractor, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see the Rocky Maivia?
No, sorry, go on.
No, say the Rocky Maivia 1 of 1 cropped up the Raw 25 and Super Fractor. And that looks a really nice card, actually. Really nice.
But would you go for the Super Fractor if it came up, Chris? Surely that's the grail.
It would be the one high-end guy in that set that I probably would go for, yeah. Like if a Hogan one come up, I'm not sure I would. Brett's my all-time favourite, so I would. The only other one would be as if the British Bulldog had one, which he doesn't, so that's for you. But yeah, I probably would go for it.
Nice.
All right, let's move on to the big topic, because this is the really important one this time round. All in. We're a week and a bit away. We won't be doing a show until we do All In. I say we attend. So we kind of know where we are at the minute with the matches, which is
should we do a run through?
I can do a run through. It's fine. I've got it in front of me. So
cool.
1p. So when they say 1p, that is the match will be broadcast on pre-show.
Yes.
So that's Aussie Open versus MJF and Adam Cole for the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championship. Predictions?
Aussie Open.
Yeah, I think everyone's thinking this is going to be either the turn of MJF on Adam Cole or Cole on MJF to set up the main event. if that don't happen, I can't see them dethroning Aussie Open. That just doesn't seem to be the right way of doing things. But
it's so weird that they're going to do this before they're fighting twice in one night.
I don't know, because obviously we've had that thing where they've now moved it to an earlier start time as well, haven't they? Yep. So I wonder if they're trying to make sure they get the arena completely full for this. It's very, very strange. But I don't know why they couldn't do this, the collision before, the Dynamite before, and then go into All In.
We can talk about so they have, what time was it originally, and what time have they put it to now, Jamie?
So originally it was a start time of 6, I believe, and I think doors opened at 5 or something to that effect.
Mm-hmm.
But it's now moved to doors opening at 3:30 and a start time of 5:30.
They're cutting into my alcohol beverage time.
Well,
Stop this now, Tony Khan, you cunt.
I think the tough thing is, obviously, a lot of people now have got pre-shows and quizzes and different pubs are doing events. So those sorts of things are now, kind of like, that's cutting into those sorts of show times and stuff. I guess a week out or week so out is a bit shit, but you know what? I guess it's a bit weird getting that big Adam Cole baby. Like, are you going to get the same pop twice? I don't know whether or not you're going to get the same, but nonetheless, we'll see what happens.
So I believe, different to you guys, I think MJF and Cole will win these titles.
Do you reckon?
I reckon they'll win it, because it will make the end match even more confusing.
Well, which is a twist, isn't it? Because everyone's assuming it's one way and then they go the other.
So they then have to fight each other, and they are tag team champions as well.
Yeah.
So they're all going to think to themselves, "Oh, they're all pally-pally," but where they're going to go with it. And
See, that's quite a good twist, actually. Yeah, because if they become bitter with one another, they've still got to defend the tag titles together for so long. Yeah, good shout. That could lead to the whole Kingdom thing as well, like MJF, Adam Cole versus the Kingdom. For the RH tag titles.
So,
that's interesting.
Well, we get to the end one. I've got a theory about. I've got some kind of theory about the end one, to be honest. But let's go for FTR versus the Bucks Tag Team Championship. Who you got going over on that? Predictions.
FTR.
I'm going FTR too.
FTR. It's the Bucks won before, haven't they? So it's the return to it, and FTR need to win.
Yeah,
cement their legacy, as it were.
It's kind of as well like, what's the next steps for this? Are they going down this CMFTR versus Elite thing, or are they not doing that? Like, what's that next step for FTR?
Yep.
And the Young Bucks as well. Like, they come off at the end of this feud, and this is kind of like a match that you can just do as an exhibition and not impact any new feud or old feuds, really. So, I think it's going to be a good match regardless, isn't it? And it's a pay-per-view opener in theory, looking at the rest of the card.
Yeah.
So, I'm looking forward to that. That should be a cracking tag match.
Next match, Shida, who is currently the champion, which obviously our mate Tommy is very happy about. He's not very happy it's a four-way.
Happy about a four-way? No.
He's not very happy it's a four-way, but he's happy he's seeing Shida. Versus Tony Storm versus Paige Saraya versus To Be Determined. So it's either going to be Britt Baker or the Bunny.
It's definitely going to be the Bunny there, isn't it?
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Jeez.
You know what I mean? Who do you think's got it?
I don't know. I would like to see Shida win. I think they're going to, obviously, are they going to give Saraya the belt to have her win it in her own home country? Or are they just going to be happy that she's getting the pop? It's just how often will you have her wrestling as a women's champ, ultimately, I guess, isn't it,
100% Britt Baker. I just can't see. There's reasons for it, which is going to be later on in the evening, but I reckon Britt Baker will come away with the title.
Okay.
Oh, I think I see where you might be going.
Yeah, so do I now.
Yep.
Yeah.
So do you think then that finishes, because they've been teasing a new character for Tony Storm, do you think we see that final breakup of sort of that little trio through Riot and all that.
What I was thinking is one of them wins and the other one attacks, but is that too obvious? I don't know. I quite like where Dave's mind is at on his thoughts, but yeah, that is initially what I thought. Paige wins, Storm attacks there, and that sort of group breaks up. But
it could
see.
Potentially be. They've always obviously. Thing is, with wrestling, the hometown person doesn't normally win in their hometown. I know Davey Boy did in '92.
Like every time.
But yeah, I just can't.
Well,
have they been that big on Paige? Like, I haven't watched Match Dynamite recently.
Well, she hasn't been on a show. She had her first match this past week on Rampage against Sky Blue
to do the qualifying.
Right. But she hasn't wrestled for bloody ages. Like, she's not. I can't remember.
She's always like ringside. With the others, isn't she? Yeah. No, I can't think of.
I think the only thing at this point, I don't know what else we're going to have on the card yet to be announced, but she is the only Brit we've got. With Jamie Hayter obviously out of the equation, there's no confirmation of Will Ospreay, although he's in the country. It's like we've got no other Brit on there that we can root behind. So
Tony Storm extended Brit? Honorary Brit as being
I guess Dino trained her. Yeah.
Sure. She's been over here for quite a while, to be fair. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think because Dean Allmark trained her. I think she'd always done the All-Star stuff, didn't she, and whatnot. So she's been around a long time.
For years as well. So she's proper. She was over here for ages and ages.
Yeah.
Ironically, I actually saw her wrestle Saraya's mother. And Saraya's mother kicked her in the vagine a lot of times.
Where was that for? A Progress show? Or
no, man.
Southside?
That was at the Milton Keynes Theatre.
Oh.
And it was proper, look behind you. Oh, no, you didn't.
Oh, okay.
There was kind of that. And then Saraya came in and knocked the shit out of Tony Storm in front of all these kids. And I'm there going, this is amazing.
Proper panto.
And Tony Storm was molting like a basset hound. Her hair was just falling out in clumps. It was really weird. Bless her. I'll never forget that. But this could go 100%. It could go either way. However, my money completely.
It's quite an open match. This one, isn't it? You know,
the main star, and this is. If you watch like the backstage thing, Britt Baker never wants to be champion again and stuff like that because of all the backstage politics and bitching and stuff like that. But she is the women's, like, if I think of the women's division, I think of her.
Yeah, she is Britt like Baker. The main person. Yeah, she's
the main person. They should build everything around her. 100%. Like, there's no doubt in my mind they need to build around her.
Yeah,
and I think I don't know. She seemed really screwed up by the last time she was champion with regarding how she was treated, and it's a shame because I think she's got all the talent in the world, and I think she's a bona fide superstar.
Yeah, definitely. It's interesting to see that you've had all these people announced to re-sign with AEW, and we haven't seen nothing from Britt Baker yet. I hope that she does re-sign because she's sort of a big name for them to hold on to, really.
I just can't imagine it. Like, she's a perfect fit for AEW. She would get lost, I think, a bit in the wash in WWE or anywhere else, really.
Yeah.
I think she's perfect where she is. She's a perfect wrestler for AEW. And AEW just need to build around it, like they've done with Adam Cole.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? But they need to do that with her as well. So, okay, move on to Darby Allin and Sting versus the Mogul. Oh, God. I'm going to get cancelled. The Mogul Embassy. So AR Fox and Swerve Strickland with Prince Nana. Nana. That's what Stanley says when he wants a banana. Nana.
Nana. We'll like that match then.
Yeah, Prince Nana. So tag team coffin match.
I'm calling it now. Darby Allin's going to do a coffin drop off the Wembley Arch, or Sting's going to leap off it. One or the other.
And die. And literally die.
You know, someone's going to jump off something outlandish, aren't they? Like someone's going to
jump off something.
I really hope it's not Sting.
Because the way the arena is going to be set up, looking at the tickets, there are tickets all the way around the arena. Yeah. There isn't any big Titantron, I think. It's just going to be the tunnel, ultimately. So someone's going to do a leap off the tunnel, aren't they? You can see that happening somewhere.
Yeah, someone's going to do something. They have to.
And it's the only like mental, hardcore type match we've got so far. So there's going to be something crazy go down in this. It's going to be a good match, I think. Weirdly,
I've actually seen a coffin match, but I've never seen and I don't think anyone has ever seen a tag team coffin match, have they?
No. I don't think so.
I don't know how it works either. Like, will it be like a table match, like you're eliminated, or do you carry on? Yeah.
Is it going to be is it going to be a Mark Henry sized coffin, or is it going to be
top and tail it?
Top and tails, yeah. Top and tail.
It's a sleepover.
You know what I mean? Who knows?
One question I had about this was: have either of you guys ever seen Sting wrestle?
Yes.
I did once
10 years ago, and he looked shit then. So
where was that? TNA.
Yeah,
I saw him at the TNA as well.
So it was like him and Billy Ray, and it was supposed to be Hogan, but
Hogan didn't go.
Hogan got injured.
That's right,
fake injury, and they were against Aces and Eights.
And this was
before Bubba turned and went, "I'm actually the leader of Aces and Eights." So yeah, it was a bit. But yeah, he wore the T-shirt then, and that was 10 years ago.
Yeah,
and yeah, I just remember him being very slow and very. He looks
limited.
He looks a lot better now than he did 10 years ago, to be honest. So I don't know. We'll see.
I'm looking forward to it. I think Sting in the big arena. I think mainly didn't do him justice. I think that wasn't really the arena match that you would want Sting in. But the other thing that surprised me, I'm surprised they haven't got what's his face, Nick. I can't remember his surname is now. The Darby Allin protege. I'm surprised they haven't brought him in, and you have
Nick Wayne.
Yeah, Nick Wayne. That's it. I was going to say Nick Gage. Yeah, that'd be a totally different coffin match. Jesus. Yeah, Nick Wayne. I'm surprised they haven't got him as well, and like doing the 6-man tag. But yeah, like Brian Cage. I'd like to do a bit of Brian Cage sort of slinging Darby Allin around again, because that was quite good back in the day.
He's injured now as well, isn't he, Brian?
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he was in. I think he's going to be back up and running soon. But I saw him in A&E, not personally. All right, Brian, what are you doing in here again? I saw him on the Twitter, and he said that he was injured. So,
oh man, that sucks.
I can see why they brought Sting in. It could have been like a triple coffin match, like like 3 top and tails. Be like the fucking chipmunks, the death of the chipmunks. That would have been awesome. But no, I thought that they were going to have Sting and Darby in it. And
you'd have Tony Schiavone shouting Sting like Alvin and the Chipmunks. Yeah. Sting,
Dave.
Yeah.
But you do get your Swerve Strickland match, Chris.
Yes.
So you are getting that. So
happy boy. Yeah. I know I'm quite hyped. I've never seen Sting in person, so I never thought I would. Yeah. So yeah,
it'd be really cool.
It'd be cool.
So, I mean, do we need to do predictions? Because this is Darby and Sting are obviously going to win, right?
This is a blow-off match, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, before we get to the end one, let's talk about the ones that we think that are going to happen. So, Omega versus Take a Shitter.
Potentially. I guess it all hinges on what happens tomorrow.
That's obviously heavily rumoured, and if it does happen, I'd say Omega, but there's always that chance that Takeshita might cheat to win. I don't know.
I guess it's kind of like we're in this weird middle ground where he hasn't started a big feud yet, but you need an exhibition match. I just don't know whether or not is that a big enough match for Ospreay. Or do you need something? So Omega, sorry.
Omega, yeah. We'll get to
bigger for Omega. Or like, because you've kind of like, you can have so many other options with Omega, you know? I don't know what, if Takeshita is what you would go for, but I guess it hinges on what happens next, I guess.
But you know what I mean? Will they cut Takeshita off? It is Takeshita. Will they cut him off before he's even started and give the win to Omega.
Exactly.
It
doesn't really make sense.
I don't really see a winner coming out of it either way, to be honest, if they do go down that road.
Yeah.
Ospreay versus Jericho.
That's the rumour. But again, how does that slot in at the minute? Like,
it's got to be Ospreay.
Yeah.
He'll be defending the title.
Yeah.
It's got to be Ospreay. Like 100%. Like there can't be any other winner. They're not going to give it to Jericho, are they?
No, of course not.
You know,
God, no.
Especially knows it's called it the UK title. Like it's,
you know what I mean. And that's going to be the UK win instead of Saraya winning. That will be the UK win that we go away with. I think.
Do you think both of those two matches, though? Do you think they're the big marquee match that all have this card going down as like one of the all-time great pay-per-view type things? Like I can see FTR and the Young Bucks being up there. But I just don't think we've got this 5-star marquee match that headlined the biggest show of all time, you know, at this point.
I'm really happy that, I mean, we're going to talk about MJF versus Cole in a bit, which potentially might do, but I'm really happy I get to see Omega. I've not seen Omega wrestle.
No, I haven't either.
So I'm happy. That's the big thing for me to take away, you know, so... do I see any of those matches that we've talked about so far as being marquee matches? No. They're just what you would see in AEW normally. I don't see them as being big marquee matches, really. You could see any of these matches on a Dynamite.
Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah.
So at the minute, no. Is there anything else that I've missed?
There's some things I seem to be missing. Obviously, there's only 5 matches there, so there's obviously room for a few more. Well, I really want to see Orange Cassidy.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
So there's the other 2, so that picks it up to... So we've got 5 in total. The other 2 picks up to 7. You think there's going to be about 9, so I think we're 2 short.
Yeah, I can't. I would like to see a battle royale of some kind to get a load of people on that we will not see otherwise. I really want to see Orange Cassidy. Like, I'm a big Orange Cassidy guy, and I want to see a bit of Orange Cassidy wrestling. Whether or not it's in a 6-man, if it's against Blackpool Combat Club and the Best Friends and Lucha Bros, or I think you need something that's like a different sort of style.
Didn't they do that recently when he won though?
They're kind of like doing the different feuds between each other. So they've had like the Blackpool Combat Club versus Best Friends. We've had Best Friends versus Lucha Brothers. Yeah. So they're kind of like going through that.
And they've had all of them together as well, haven't they?
Yeah. But I don't think we've had we haven't had the 3-way of all 3 teams against each other yet, which I think is what they were aiming for.
It's only been like the single competitors, hasn't it?
Yeah. So I think a good battle royale.
So in the last All-In, they did have a 19-person over-budget battle royal to determine the number 1 contender for the ROH World Championship. So they could actually do that.
Which would make sense, because you could get all these guys on there then.
And then you can get RVD in there and
we get your Jeff Jarrett and Grado if you wanted to have your Jarrett and Grado.
Yeah, so Jarrett and Grado are supposed to have a match as well, so that's a good shout.
If you sit on a battle royal, that just gets that popping out the way, then not waste anything. I think you could do something like that would be quite nice. Do it put it on 0 hour, you know, that's the sort of thing you want there, isn't it?
The one big omission for me, and I don't know if he's injured or not, but Hangman.
Yeah, there's nothing been announced for him yet.
And there's no build, is there, for anything with Hangman?
No, so they had Blood and Guts, and then there's been nothing for BCC. Outside of the Orange Cassidy stuff, they've obviously gone that way, but the Elite have had nothing really. There's no further feud with them yet.
So you would have thought it would be like Hangman versus Mox or something, or I don't know. But that for me is the biggest miss, because I love Hangman.
I've never seen him ever wrestle. That'd be really nice.
Yeah, I had seen him a couple of times and met him and stuff like that. And he's a lovely guy, and I think he's a great wrestler. And I always had this. He was a younger lad back when they started All Elite. He was in his 20s, like mid to late 20s. He had everything going for him. And obviously, I think his title run build up was great. And then he got the title and did nothing. And then they just gave it to CM Punk, right? So I think it is a weird one because obviously he has the typical Texan cowboy. Yeah, no, he's not Texan, but he's got this cowboy look. Virginia he's from, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's got that cowboy look of him, and which is time and time again, it hasn't really worked at all. like, you know what I mean? Like in our years, it just doesn't work anymore. Not really.
So who would you give a match with Hangman? Like, what would be your dream Hangman match?
And that's the problem. And that's the problem. Obviously, we haven't talked about CM Punk, but CM Punk is probably going to face.
It's going to be Samoa Joe
Samoa Joe, which is another match. So I think we're up to like 10, 11 matches.
I'll mention in a sec as well.
But I would have done CM Punk versus Hangman because that's what we want to see. We want to see that feud. That's a bigger fight than him versus Samoa Joe. And I'm a big old Ring of Honor fanboy who, great, but that time's gone. This is where we're at.
I think had we not had Joe and Punk less than a month ago in the Owen Hart tournament, this would have been a much bigger match. The first one, the third match out of all of them, like that would have been. But it's kind of like we've seen it now. The shine's come off it a bit, you know.
We saw it 20 years ago, and it was great, and it was a lot better than it is now.
Yeah.
What we want to see is something that there is needle between Punk and Hangman, and it's never going to go away. We want to know, can they actually work together with each other? We want to know, and to be honest, I think it would settle a lot of stuff if they actually did work well to each other, and it would quash a lot of stuff. Yeah, on the biggest stage that there is, which would be this event.
Well, the dirt sheets are saying today that Punk apologised to Hangman for the weekend, so you never know. Something may happen with him, but I don't think it's going to be here, is it, Sally?
I just think it would be, but that would be the one that people would want to actually watch with Hangman in.
Yeah.
It would set the direction right again. And I think it would do a lot of favours for CM Punk because there's still a lot of shit with him at the minute. So, I don't know. Maybe I live in a world which is inaccessible. I don't know. Go on, Chris. What was your one?
What's your other match? Yeah.
My one, correct me if I'm wrong, I thought Andrade versus Aleister Black was potentially going to happen. Or has that happened?
I think Andrade put it out on Twitter and said that while we're in Europe, let's have this match and have the blow off. But I don't think there's been anything further on TV around it.
And then everyone fell asleep about that match because it would
it's kind of.
They did in NXT anyway, didn't they?
Yeah, they've had match. They had it at Rumble. I think not the Rumble. What was their one they used to do in January? But they've done it anyway, just a takeover in January.
Yeah.
Because they're now moving on to like just doing the trios matches, and I guess the rumor is like, do we get the Acclaimed in the trios match against the House of Black? Because there's no Acclaimed on there, and everyone needs to be doing a bit of scissoring at Wembley, you know?
Oh yeah, 100%.
So, yeah. No, I agree. The thing is, we're up to like 15 matches now.
I guess the thing we've got with this is there's so many big names that are good for a big crowd, and not seeing them on here, like it sounds like Darby Allin and Sting and the Mogul Embassy. Yeah. I don't think that needs to be an all-in. Like you could easily do that on a Dynamite, Fighter Fest, All Out, anything like that. It doesn't. I think you want to get your big names, those big pops for the video reel, don't you? That's really what you're after.
Other than, obviously, the two big misses, right? Let's be real. Omega versus Ospreay should have happened.
Yeah.
Match 3. Should have happened. The only thing is, they would walk away with Ospreay would still win the title. And I don't think they would want to have Ospreay win over Omega. I just can't see it personally. No. But so that's for the future, right? Down the line. But the other glaring omission is Hangman and Hangman Punk. Those two would be marquee matches. Nothing else we've talked about is marquee match.
Or Punk and Omega, like if we even had that.
Yeah. None of these matches are marquee. So should we move on to the MJF versus Cole, which is
let's move on to the main event.
Match. Is the marquee match, right? So, what do we think?
I think the match is going to be good, but we saw it on Dynamite just before they become a tag team, and it was a good match on Dynamite.
Yeah.
I don't feel any more excited about seeing it now than they did before. Yes, he's got that new dynamic of them being mates, but yeah, I'm not down on it, but I'm also not excited about it really.
Chris?
Yeah, I mean, now that you've said it, Dave, I would like to see so they did win the titles, and then there was just that extra layer to it.
There needs to be.
I feel like they need something, otherwise, it's too similar to the Dynamite one. So
I think
we'll see.
Cole is going to win.
Baby.
I think Bebe is going to be the new champ. How is it going to happen? I'm not sure. I think
finish the story, the sort of thing.
Well, I think this is so. Obviously, Max won the last fight, and this will be Bebe's time. And it's how Max will obviously take that afterwards. You know what I mean? Like how do they develop? Who's going to be the heel? Who's going to be the baby face going forward? How that dynamic will work. I think now's the time for him to be and be conflicted by the fact that he wants his title back, but he also wants to be the tag team partner.
He wants to be a good guy, Cole. Yeah.
So I think that will alleviate, you know what I mean, with Cole then playing up to being the champion and him having the resentment for that. I think that's the obvious story progression in my mind. How they do that, it has to involve Roderick Strong. So
yeah.
I feel like he's going to try to attack Cole, and then he's going to get saved by Max, and then MJF is going to be knocked out, and Cole's just going to pin him or something like that. Something like that will happen.
So with that, then in that case, in that idea that Cole goes over MJF, you've got All Out the following week in Chicago. Do you then see Punk and Cole at All Out? And then dynamic, do you then get MJF do something then to Cole, keeps friendly with him, and then something else happens there? Does he screw Punk, and then that leads that again, Punk and MJF?
Or they instead of him defending his title, they defend the tag team titles.
Yeah.
And then that, I don't know,
it's interesting, isn't it? It's a new thing I didn't think about, actually.
I think the thing is, they've already tried to multi-layer it. And I was conflicted by saying I didn't think that Cole would win. But when they put this tag team title match in it, I was like, yeah, Cole's got to win this, because it makes sense that obviously you win. You know what I mean? They're still going to be tied together. But if they're tied together, and the story would still be the same as Max is the champ. What's the point? There's no story progression there.
No.
Yeah.
So that's my thought, but I don't know, fuck all. So
I guess we'll find out more. We've only got 2 Dynamites left and 1 Collision, and that's it, pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's come around quick, though, isn't it?
Has come around very quick.
Dave, and then you said about Britt winning earlier. What, those 2 at the end, both titles, and
holding the both belt. Yeah, it's not a bad shout.
Yeah.
I don't know, she might get involved with it as well, you know what I mean? And in the end, or it's she screws
Adam Cole.
One of them.
Well, she could screw. That's later on in the match. But, no, I'm talking about she could screw Max out the title or something like that. And the possibilities are endless right now. But I was a bit twixt in between about who's going to win the title, but I'm 100% now on Cole.
Adam Cole, baby.
And you know what I mean? The set is built for a big title change.
Yeah, of course.
You know, so
yeah, massively.
But I do feel a bit like Jamie. I'm very positive about all of this. I know
I am too.
I'm very positive about this, but you are 100% right. It's not, the matches don't match up to the scale of the event.
Yeah,
currently.
Yeah, if it was the All Out card, I'd be like, oh, that's a pretty good pay per view on paper. But I just think even if you didn't do any story progression and you just stacked it with exhibition dream AEW matches, I think you would still do all right. But anyway, we'll see. We'll be down there a week Sunday, enjoying the sunshine, hopefully, a few beers, watching a bit of AEW, watching Darby Allin go nuts. It'll be good fun.
That's the thing. I can't wait. I think it's going to be a great night.
But also, like, I've never been to a Mania. Like, this will be the biggest crowd I've ever been to. So just experience that is going to be insane for me, I think. And with a British crowd, which is normally good anyway.
I think this could be potentially the last live match I go to see, depending on Stanley. And obviously, and I'm sure I will take Stanley and he'll want to go and stuff like that. I'm sure. Like, no doubt. Okay. But for me personally, I've done it all. Like, don't get me wrong, I'd like to have gone to a Rumble. I think that was probably the big miss. I'd actually like to see Brock Lesnar actually wrestle. I've seen him, but I've not seen him wrestle. I've just seen him give Cena an F5. But the two big things, since I was a kid, right? And there was always two things that I wanted to see. And obviously I saw a lot with Brit Res, and it was great. But I never, and one of the things during Brit Res happened that I got to see, and that was Royal Albert Hall. Mm-hmm. Always wanted to see that. Like, you remember they did that Royal Rumble like in 1990, and
the early one,
Flair, and that was a big thing for me back in the day. And I got to see that NXT tournament at the Royal Albert Hall. My other thing was, even though my first event I went to was 1991, I didn't go to Wembley in 92. So I always wanted to see something happen I thought WrestleMania, to be honest, but I always thought that I always hoped that I'd see something at Wembley, and I never actually thought I'd see it in my lifetime. Now this has happened, happening so close down the line.
It's done.
I've got nothing else to see, man. I've been to WrestleMania. I love Money in the Bank. I've been to Money in the Bank. Yeah, I haven't been to a Royal Rumble, but if they do one over here, which is a possibility in the future, maybe I'll go. I think the ticket pricing for WWE over here is just ridiculous. I don't like Money in the Bank was just like, what? Like $4,000 to go on the floor. Yeah. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, I think I'm done. But it's not a bad thing. I've seen so much, man. I'm just like, I don't miss it. Like this period since lockdown, I've not missed going to it once, to be honest.
Are you not intrigued by other, like, even smaller things coming over? Like, are you just feeling like you don't want to go to it?
I've done it all, mate. I've seen it. Like, don't get me wrong. I'd love to see Bron Breakker wrestle and stuff like that in a few years' time, maybe, and stuff. But where I am currently, nothing's going to top this Wembley. Like, fair enough. Maybe if they did WrestleMania over here at Wembley, but I don't know. There's not much I want to see live anymore. Maybe it will push me down more, going down the rabbit hole of watching more on demand and going back. I've got the network, but I never really go back and watch old stuff.
Okay, but
I should.
That's all I do.
But but that's what I should do that, and I think maybe this will send me the right way. Like, I'm not chasing this anymore. I'm not chasing this high of going to events anymore and stuff like that.
Just going to enjoy the events, though. Just enjoy the moment, seeing them, I guess.
Yeah. Thing is, though, it's just I've been up and down this country for 10 years watching wrestling, and granted, the last 3 have been sparingly, but those 7 years I was up and down the country, running around everywhere, watching every independent, and even through the dark days of the decline of Brit Res, even before Speaking Out happened and stuff like that, and the pandemic and stuff like that, we're still like heavily loving it and stuff. It was great.
Yeah, I guess I'm kind of a slightly different aspect with it. So I kind of zoned out going to WWE shows when I was about 18, and I ended up getting involved with Brit Res and seeing it when there's like 20 people there and stuff, and like small, tiny little places. I've seen that growth, and then once it kind of plummeted at COVID, I've had no interest in getting back into Brit wrestling, and it's kind of wanted me to get that buzz into seeing like arena wrestling again. And there's a bit of that sort of leaving COVID. It's kind of like, well, getting involved with big crowds and stuff again. It's always been a bit daunting, and it's like breaking that. And I realised how much I missed going to Royal Quest last year. I realised how much I missed being part of a wrestling crowd. And I'm thinking I'm probably trying to maybe go to more post All In and try and get to more shows and try and get back to where I once was. It's interesting.
You pick the baton where I leave it, mate. Maybe, I don't know. But
no, I feel like I've missed something, and I'm going to try and make an effort. Maybe not go to British wrestling shows, but just try and make an effort to try and go to more touring stuff when it appears and stuff, you know?
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. It's great. It's just, I don't know. There's sometimes I've been there and I've just thought, this is boring. And sometimes I've been there, I think it's great. And I think that this All In is going to be fantastic. But
yeah,
I don't know. For me, I think the thing is, I think it'll only be a couple of years anyway, because the little one, as soon as he's old enough, I'm 100% sure he will be going, Dada, let's go. And I'm like, okay, cool.
And there'll always be an option for that. There's always going to be a family-friendly thing for all ages. So
I miss Shikara. Shikara was the ultimate family-friendly thing.
Yeah. Bit of soldier ant, fire ant.
Yeah, not for the women, but for the kids. Very friendly. Okay, right. Let's move on to the top 5.
Top 5.
So, yeah. Okay.
I just need to pee. Sorry.
That's fine.
That's cool.
Leave this in. Okay, let's move on now to our top 5. So this week's top 5 is going to be the Panini rookie investments, short term and long term. So we've got them all listed out in front of us.
Panini, Jamie. Panini.
Panini, Jamie.
It's not been a good week for me, is it? I just
behind the curtain.
Yes, pull back this curtain.
Should we behind the curtain? So I did mine quite quickly because it was my week. So I kind of said, this is the standard. And then Chris, very good with your standard. Lovely. And then Jamie, not so good. What went wrong, Jamie?
It was a long time. I initially thought it was top 5 investment cards. So I went for short and long and then just picked cards I thought were going to be good. And then Chris came to me and said, no, it's Panini, bud. You need Panini ones.
Pick 7 different ones out of your 10.
So I went through, done that again, and then I had some which had Topps cards in it, so I then had to redo it again. With a few names I'm not that familiar with, but I've seen them appear, so I'll do my top 5 and do my best with them. You guys can fill me in on why, but these are people I've seen doing good values and things that have been going quite quick in breaks and people are paying a lot of money for, so that's how I'm judging this. That's how I've done my top 5. I'm not up to date with NXT. I've really kind of switched off on that side of things. So okay. Yeah.
Okay, we've got a list.
We've got some lists. So, exactly.
Okay, so let's do the short term first, right? So we just do the left side. Okay. So Jamie, do you want to go down your left side?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, let me just have a quick look. That side first. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that side, left side.
Right, okay, so I'm going to start with number 5. So let's get my list up here, so I've forgotten. Right, so I've got Stacks at number 5. I've never seen this guy wrestle at all before, but again, he's someone who's picked up in breaks quite quickly. So he's my number 5 short term. And I guess the way I've done my short terms are that they're doing good prices now, but I don't know where they're going to go in the future. Like they might end up just going into oblivion, but at the minute they seem to be quite hot in NXT pretty much. Number 4, I've gone for Kiana James, someone who everyone got very excited about with her cards over the past year or so. So,
Mr. David,
that he like.
I didn't want to go into too much detail because I know you like it, but so number 4 for her. Number 3, Thea Hale. Again, people very excited about her auto this year in Panini, always being picked up big. And I think if you get this now and you want a quick turnaround or a little bit of profit, this is the time to, if you've got one, get it on the market, sell it. It's a good investment to get it rid now, I think, more than anything. Number 2, Sol Rooker. I think we're all a bit of a fan of Sol Rooker, so I've put her quite near the top. It's going to be the same kind of thing again. It's like, but where will she go from here? Will she just disappear? And against the long term, like we've seen a bit more with the long termers, so that's where I've put number 2. And number 1, I've gone for Ava Raine. Again, someone who's obviously got promise, rockstar, all that type of stuff. She hasn't done much in NXT. It hasn't really lit the world on fire there, but I think she potentially is one to pick up now. Depends how well she gets on from here. But even in a year's time, even if she's not had the best career, I think you will be all right as an investment piece, and you can, shift that pretty well. I think, especially the auto side of it. So, yeah, Ava Raine, number 1. The only thing I would say about the short term with Ava Raine, I've said this here before. I know we're kind of like Panini releases and stuff like that, but I still think the Panini Instant, whether or not you want to count this or not, I still think that is the card that you want to have as a card of hers as a rookie one. But again, we can discuss that maybe for the long term. I'll go from there. But yeah, names I'm not completely familiar with, but ones I know people are grabbing as soon as they prop up on breaks.
I'll give you my Ava take. And I'm still debating on how hard I go in on this take because I might get cancelled. But I don't think it's my opinion. So I'm going to give other people's opinions, which is...
That's a bit like saying, my mate has this bird that she likes.
And
he wants to know, can he have your number?
Yeah. No, it's observational.
Okay.
It's observational.
From other people, it's not your observations.
I lean on these observations, but I'll give them honest. We've always been honest, right? And I'll give you my honest, really, really honest. Okay. But I'll wait until she appears on the list last. So it's going to be a while, I think. So I'll keep it. So Chris, what is your short term? The one on this side?
Yeah. So number 5, I've gone for...
Which to us is on the other side.
Sorry.
So Maxine Dupree, short term, she's just joined the main roster. She's wrestled a first match, etc. Sell now, in my opinion. I'm not sure what her future holds, but at the moment she seems pretty popular. Nice auto, if I remember correctly. So I would sell now. Number 4, I've gone for Grayson Waller. He's got the Cena rub, obviously, recently. I'm not sold on him in my own opinion, but he seems a little cheesy for me. He's Australian. He's doing shoeies. I don't know, man.
What's your favourite colour, Blue?
Needs a manager called Sheila.
For our one fan in Australia.
Yeah, we've got you, mate. We've got you.
Yeah.
Daniel Ricciardo does the shoey for me, so I'm not into that.
Did you come here to die? No, sir. I came yesterday. All the best.
You didn't do it with an accent, though. That let you down there.
No. I have to. No. Go on.
Number 3, Roxanne Perez. I just think the prices on her cards are insane.
Crazy.
Really insane. I've actually written crazy down. Yeah, sell. If you've got one of these at the moment, the prices that they're listed at, I think you would be better off selling now and getting a good chunk of money rather than gambling and holding on to it.
Yeah,
and then she goes way down. So yeah, number 3, number 2, Dave's man, Bron Breakker. I'd probably say short term wise. I don't know. I actually don't know about this one. If this is a hold or a short term one, I'm kind of going against because I'm holding my rookie auto until the right time to sell. But I think that's coming soon. I think
until it gets on the main roster.
Main roster is what I've got written down. So the only other thing that put me off my own argument is there's not a lot of really big guys. At the top at the moment, and I could see him becoming a really, really big one of the top guys. So yeah, a bit of both. Number one, Tiffany Stratton. A year ago, I know she was like reasonably priced, but she wasn't, it was her rookie year in Prism, 22. Not a lot of people were really buying her. I bought a few. A good friend Tommy sold me a silver rookie Prism, not PSA, MCG9 for like a tenner. That card at the moment is worth a lot more than that. So I'm thinking now again, it's probably the sort of time that I might be looking to sell that. So yeah, Tiffany Stratton, obviously the champ at the moment, so she's on TV every week. It just makes sense,
and she'll make that transition up to the main.
Yeah,
card.
yeah, 100%. So yeah, number one for me.
The only thing I'd say, and I'd say it for my own lot as well, which I'll go through, is that they hold on to their people in NXT for too long.
Yeah.
So that's gone through since the dawn of time.
Yeah.
Like Adam Cole never going up to the main stage. Are you crazy? Like maybe he had something to do with that as well.
I don't think he wanted to be Keith Lee's manager, did he? Really? Like,
there's too many examples of them not pulling the trigger when they should have done.
Yeah.
And this is why it's difficult, really. So short term for me, Nikita Lyons.
Good name.
The main reason I say this is because obviously she's injured at the minute. Her prices, so instead of Sol Rooker, where her prices are still high, Nikita's is actually a bit lower. Now's the time to invest in buying her stuff now. So when she does come back and even just comes back to NXT, her stuff will then go up again because she is one of the most popular people in it.
What's her time to come back? Could she potentially come back for Rumble and then go to the main roster from Rumble?
I don't know.
No idea.
So ACL is anywhere between.
Oh yeah,
6 to
that's
9
not good, is
months,
it?
isn't it? So, and there's so many that have had ACL.
We've only got to look like Chris Statton, you know.
One of them. Well, Sol Rooker is one of them. So she's. But I would say because of the prices of Nikita have dipped, I think she's perfect place to actually. You can make a bit of money on her right now. So, money on her in the near future. All depends what she does. And if she actually does come back, because you never know. She might not even come back. And then stuck with all of her cards. Sorry. Maxine Dupree was 4th. And that's just generally because she's on the main roster. She's doing really well. Her cards were quite cheap. They've gone up in price. Mm-hmm. They were quite cheap originally. The more she's got popular, the more they've gone up in price. I think there is a short term where you can actually buy now and actually make a bit more money, but there will be a ceiling with her. And I think it will come soon, to be honest. So number 3 and number 2, exactly the same reason. So Carmelo Hayes and Bron Breakker, they are both obviously NXT. They're both champion or former champions, and they will both go up to the main stage. And when they do, the prices of their cards will go up for a time, and that will be the time to sell. So short-term investments. My kicker is with Bron is that I'm not going to sell when he goes up to the main stage, and then I'm gonna lose money either way. So brilliant. Grayson Waller was mine, and I'm with you, Chris. He doesn't really mean much to me as a wrestler but he's very smooth technically of what he does.
He's a good-looking guy too.
He's a very good-looking guy, and he's very good on the mic. Even though he does do shoeies, he makes you cringe.
Yeah. He's a bit cheese, isn't he? But
he's a bit cheese. But I think he will be a good heel. What he does, if he doesn't win Money in the Bank next year, because Money in the Bank is a heel thing, right? You need a heel to win Money in the Bank, and I think he might win Money in the Bank next year. And if he does, his stock will go up. So that's I think where my short-term investment goes up to, probably about a year. Okay. Around that period of Okay, so let's go on the long term,
Which is on the other side.
So back to. So, well, do you want me to do? Yeah, on the other side. So, do you want me to? Should we snake it? So I do mine, then Chris, then Jamie. So we
whatever.
Snake it.
Yeah.
Okay, so my long term was number 5, Elton Prince.
Just Elton Prince.
I think.
Explain, yeah.
I think out of the two, he's the Shawn Michaels out of the two, and not just because he's blonde. I do think he will be the star out of them. I think investment now into him, especially last year's rookies, may pay off dividends in the long run, but we don't know. Thing is, though, if you refer him back to Shawn Michaels stuff is completely undervalued.
and Michael's rookie.
Early rookies. Wow, yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
4 and 3 are very similar. So Stacks and Kiana. So the reason I see them as long term, not short term, is because they're just unknowns. Really, they haven't really started their journey. But Stacks reminds me of, I want to say Hook, but like he's got that kind of plucky young guy that has got, you know what I mean? He hasn't nowhere near. He's got the following that Hook did when he first came in, but he's got a following, and a lot of people do like him. And I think he might be someone who's really well. Kiana, I've covered this on more than once. I think she's got everything to be the future of wrestling if she keeps fit and healthy, and I really think she's got a big future in front of her. Number 2, Pat.
I forgot about Pat.
So Pat, for me, just because of I just think because he's not going to have a lot of cards, and it's evident that minute that he's not going to have a lot of cards because he's in and out of the product, right?
Yeah.
And I think the lack of cards in the product will make them more sought after going forward.
I think. Oh no, go on.
No, I was going to say, with Pat McAfee, he hasn't got any Prism or anything in any other sport, has he? He hasn't got any NFL Prism, has he? So these could be his only Prism cards long term, I guess.
I don't know.
No, I'm not sure either.
I assume that he probably.
I assume he must have, because he had a pretty good career, didn't he? But I don't know if there was any other Prism in NFL. I'm not sure.
And the thing is, he's loved as well. Like, everyone loves him. Like, so as long as they keep the number of them down, like the amount down to basically either short prints or short runs, I think his cards will just keep going up in price. And my number 1 was Solo. And that's purely down to the fact, yes, he's on the main roster. He's the only real main roster person I've put onto my long term. But his story hasn't even started yet. He's on the main stage and his story hasn't even started. If the story is all about his brothers and his cousin, it's got nothing to do with him, really. Can you imagine? And he's still on the main stage and people, like, he's this destroyer at the minute. Can you imagine where it's going to go through from there? I think his prices have dipped off significantly since his rookie year 2. His prices have dipped significantly. Now is the time to buy on Solo, because come 4 or 5 years down the line, I think his prices will go up and up and up. All depends on the storylines. All depends on where they position him
And what happens next,
if he's the next big thing, then you might, all of us, including myself, might look back and go, shit, that was the time.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Chris.
Just quickly, I've just looked at Pat McAfee. Sorry.
Yeah.
So Pat's had a Select in 2018, a base Select, and he's had obviously all the different refractors of Select. And he had a Certified Accomplishments in 2017 in Prism, but that's all he's had NFL. Everything else is WWE. So it's
crazy,
very little amount, yeah. So yeah, as an actual base Prism, the WWE is his first base Prism.
And he could well have the Lawrence Taylor effect, where is it Undisputed 15 is a really hard card to find, and it's because it's like low numbered, and this could well be the same. Where was it to 99? The big patch.
Yes, I think you're right. Yeah,
I think it was to 99. So again, that could be a big card for old Pat.
Yeah.
When you say his first prism, it's select, right? So it's select prism. For WWE. He didn't have a prism card though.
Not proper prism.
Not actual prism, but yeah. So I thought we had a prism this year.
Prism. No.
Okay, fine. So yeah, so in that case, he hasn't still had a base.
But he has had. I mean, they are classed as select prisms, though, aren't they? But they're not prism. They're not prism.
Not prism base.
Not
yeah.
prism.
So the only cards he's actually had is the instant.
The instant.
He had the instant.
Immaculate,
Yeah.
and the select.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, and then anything else, he's only had the 2 cards in NFL. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, low number.
It's all good. It's all good. Go on then, Chris.
Cool. So number 5, I've gone for Carmelo Hayes. I'll be honest, I don't know an awful lot, but I know he's had the title. He's had the.
I thought Carmelo Hayes wasn't your number 5. I thought it was
He's in a little swapsies.
Soul Sucker, as I put on there instead of Soul Rooker.
Okay, yeah. So I've Soul Sucker.
Soul Sucker.
I have put as number 5.
Sucker.
Okay.
You can swap them around if you want.
Yeah, I'll go with my way here, actually. So, as I said, I don't know an awful lot about him, but there seems to be a lot of hype, and it seems to be slowly sort of growing in comparison to like some of the earlier stuff he was in. It wasn't really taken off, but now he seems to be getting a decent rub. So, I think potentially a good one to hold on to for now. We'll see. Number 4, I've gone for Pretty Deadly. I've gone for them both. Yeah. So was Tommy onto something? Tommy's a wise guy. He's been picking up Pretty Deadly for a while now. He's got some pretty cool cards.
They were smooth as silk. When I saw them at NXT UK and stuff a few years ago, like they, as a team, like they've always been so smooth. I think they were going to be a good team.
I love the dead leg move. I always that was good.
As you said, Dave, if they went singles, who knows? I think it would be the way they've been received on SmackDown so far is pretty good as well, isn't it? So even with them being injured or one of them being injured, I think they'd be a strong bet.
I think the big thing for them will be, for the time being, is what they do with them while one's out. Like, can they keep it ticking away a bit? I know he's been doing stuff with Austin Theory and stuff, hasn't he? So yeah. So far, so good. So number 3 on my list, not on Dave's list, is Soul Sucker, Soul Rucker. She just seems to be out of the NXT women. She was right up there in like Prism this year. She was one of the ones everyone was after, including like me and Dave. We picked up 1 or 2 of the Disco Donuts, didn't we?
I've got
Dave's
the
got
thing
more.
is the thing why I left her off was because her stuff was always expensive. So like even like break spots, getting them on resale, it's always been quite expensive unless you got a good deal. And if you got a good deal, you're like, yay, well done.
Yeah.
So it's always been expensive. Even when she's been injured, her stuff is still expensive.
It is, yeah.
But when she comes back, I expect the trend to be, but is she going to come back? So you could, if she doesn't come back, I'm sure she will. But if she doesn't come back, then you've spent a lot of money on someone who lasted in the company for a couple of months.
Like 3 months, yeah.
Exactly. So it's difficult to say an investment when you just don't know. And that's why I didn't keep
if anyone can or like has the ability 100%. Out of the women in NXT at the moment, I think she's 1 or 2. Do you know what I mean? If she's in the top 3, for instance, of potential, big money.
Yep.
Number 2, Solo Sikoa again. I was on the fence on Solo, but like you said, Dave, he's just, he's not been around for an awful long time, and his prices are pretty good. One thing I've sort of noticed is, or one thing that I'm going to be trying to do is, I've got some lower end stuff. I think sell the lower end stuff at the moment while he's still hot, but keep a few of your higher end cards because he could be a real big one down the road.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. High end, like you're not going to make
some of the
you're not going to make
high
money
end
on
stuff.
The base.
You know,
No,
maybe on his parallels from his actual rookie card from Prism.
From Prism, yeah. So yeah, for instance, I've kept the red, white, and blue of Solo, just in my sort of rookie pile, just as a hold. But the problem with Solo, for instance, is there was so many sets last year. He's got base cards in pretty much all of them with the rookie. So I would say, yeah, those normal base, not to worry too much about, but keep your higher end or your graded ones for the future. Number 1, I've gone for the Pebble, Ava Rain, the Pebble. Long-term hold for me. Surely, if anyone's going to garner some money later down the road, it's going to be the Rock's Daughter. Just the lineage alone. Do you know what I mean? We're on different wavelengths here.
I do. I'll wait until she gets last mentioned. I'm sure Jamie's going to.
But yeah, that one is a hold for me. I've only got like one rookie card, Disco Donut one, but I'm going to hold it for now and see. You never know.
Yeah.
Cool. Over to you, Jamie.
Okay, right. Might be some controversy in here based on what you guys have said about your short and long term. So let's.
You've gone the complete opposite.
Well, let's put it this way.
Other than a couple.
There is reasons behind this stuff, so I'm not completely mad. Right, so long term, I've gone Brom Breaker. Now, this is only because there is an element of risk, I think, if you're purely buying him to sell. I think the risk runs is if he continues in NXT, I do feel that he will stagnate, and if you're trying to get a higher price, you're going to lose that price. He's going to dip. The other good risk is that if he gets to the main roster and blows up, how long does he blow up for? And then how long do you keep him as a long-term investment? So it's a bit of a strange one with Bron Breaker. It really depends how he hits the main roster and where he goes from there. I think if he's still in NXT in a year's time, you've missed your window. And that's where that difference between a short and a long-term for me sits at Bron Breaker. So it's kind of on the lower end of my long-term.
What do you class as short and long-term, though?
I think, I guess what you said, a year. I think if you've still got Bron Breaker cards and he hasn't done much more in NXT, I think then if you're going to sell them, like that's the point you then start doing it. But if he breaks onto the main roster in January and has a cracking run to Mania, then you think his career is going to be going the right kind of way,
And hold.
Yeah, hold, definitely, yeah. Okay. Number 4, I put a bit of a curveball in this, and that's BFAB. I really quite like BFAB. I quite like what they do in Hit Row, and I think if she does ever break away from that, I think there could be a good long-term thing there for her. I think obviously, that element of that would be quite nice. So I've kind of put her at number 4 as a sort of one to watch and hold on to, but also her prices are pretty low as well. So you could probably get some nice cards of hers with limited risk and just see what happens with it, really. So put her at number 4. And then the top 3 are kind of a mix of guys that you've discussed as well. So number 3, I've gone for Solo. There's actually the same reasons as you guys. Like whatever happens with him, he's going to be big things. But I think he's a bit more of a dead cert. It's kind of like if you've got his cards, there's no risk holding on to him. I think he's going to be doing well regardless. So I'll put him at number 3. I don't think he can really go wrong unless something drastically goes wrong with him. I think, you've only even got to look at the Usos, like how rocky their career has been, but they still seem to be desired people want to go after, So, yeah, we'll see. Number 2, I put Grayson Waller. Now, Chris, you mentioned this a little bit that he got the Cena rub. He also kind of got a Shawn Michaels rub down in NXT in his final bit. And I think they've got long plans for him. I think once he gets away from this sort of, a bit like LA Knight, sort of, a new audience getting him over. I think once he breaks out of that new character mold on the main roster, I think he will still have a good long career. And even if it doesn't become obviously like toppling Roman Reigns, but even if you start getting him in that main event scene mixed up with Seth Rollins and stuff like that, I think, if you have that same effect like you did post-Shield Seth Rollins or Dean Ambrose, I think you could end up having quite a good career with him long term. So I would hold on to him, I think. And this is a bit of a strange thing, but you think if they're trying to expand and go to different markets and stuff, having a big star to go to Australia with, like they did with Sami Zayn in Montreal, like that's the kind of guy you've got no one else other than Rhea Ripley to lean on with that. So, yeah. Number 2 for Grayson Waller, and then number 1, I'll put Ava at number 1 for my long term as well, because I'm kind of the same thing, like the Pebble aspect. It's just what happens with her long term. Like, does her career fall off the face of the earth? If it doesn't, then you want to hold on to her cards as long as possible, don't you? Like, the sky could, in theory, be the limit for her if she does the right things, really. But, so there's a short-term benefit. If she does well, then nothing happens. Long-term, she skyrockets, and then you hold her cards for 15 years, maybe more, or whatever you want to do, ultimately. A different look, really.
Thing is with Ava, and I know you both have her quite highly on your lists. The problem is, and this is a Venn diagram moment for me. I fucking love a Venn diagram. And this, I'm going to be brutally honest, okay? Brutally honest. And I'm not going to give my opinion on what I think of Ava, but I'm going to allude to what the wrestling collectors of cards look for in order to make cards successful and more money down the long run, right? So, and I use this by simply spending a year on Top Slam, because this is, you get a massive gauge of what everyone wants and what everyone's pushing for over everybody else. So there's 3 pillars of what people look for. 1, are they cute? This is for females, men looking for females. I can't say men looking for men other than being successful. I can't really give them other pinnacles of success factors in a Venn diagram. Are they cute? I.e., and I really don't want to say this, are they fuckable? That's the first one. The second one is, are they athletic? I.e., they may not be cute, as in the best lookers. Number 3, can they wrestle? Are they good at wrestling? Chris, when we're talking about Sol Rooker, why do you think her cards are so expensive? She's a fucking triple threat, mate. She fills out all of those criteria down to a T, right? I'm being honest.
Are you saying that?
I'm being honest because ultimately this is either down to. I'm not saying Ava Raine doesn't. However, if you look at these 3 areas, this is why like Trish has been so successful. This is why
Tori Wilson or someone, she still garners a
Bliss,
high price.
and this is how I refer it, because it's Top Slam, everyone was going for Bliss.
Yeah, you're right.
And those 3 pillars of what collectors normally go for. I don't know Ava Raine that much, but I don't know where she fits into those pillars currently. And that's why I can't have her on those lists. Sol Rooker, I know. Obviously, she's got that surfer body. She's got that blonde look. Like a lot of the people our age, what do they go for? Blonde hair and big boobs and nice body.
And milky mustaches.
Milky mustaches. That's what we grew up with Pamela Anderson, for Christ's sakes. The surfer lady. So she fits that criteria, and she's doing an RKO off the top rope backwards, garnering all the attention. There's no like. Of course, she's going to be one of the biggest things going for. Like, massive.
So, do you think then with Ava? Then, do you think her going to NXT and having the character she has, do you think that's hindered her? Like, do you think if she went straight into the main roster and then hit the ground running with her final version?
Who's that? Sorry.
Do you think that would benefit
Ava? She's just in NXT, isn't she?
But if she went straight to the main roster, do you think that there'd be better prospects for her instead of having this character she's got now? Because I think that hinders her to some degree as well.
What I'm saying is that I haven't seen her enough at all, hardly, really, on anything to make any judgments on her currently, whether it be short or long term. The only thing I can say is what you guys have said, is that she has that extra element, which is an extra little bit on this Venn diagram thing of she is related, like Charlotte Flair would have. She's related to one of the biggest stars that has ever been.
Yeah.
So yeah, that she has that going for it. But does she fulfill the other 3 pillars in order to make her that successful? I do not know. And that's why I would not have her on any of my list at all, because I just don't know.
So does it say something that me and Jamie kind of see it differently
100%.
in terms of like, I think the biggest thing for her is that she's from that family.
Likewise,
that's where I'm seeing the value. Yeah.
And it's kind of like it's kind of like the Solo Sokoa thing, isn't it? It's kind of like that name. You're kind of prospecting on that name, and they live up to that name.
Yeah.
Well, at least one of the bits of her Venn diagram is, does she sound like an air horn? That's definitely not there for Ava, so that's not too bad. Where some women are.
Oh dear.
So, yeah.
Are we going to try and megafy this out of interest?
No,
Sorry.
No, we can't.
No.
I was going to say, because this isn't going to happen, is it?
Not at all,
Like-
not at all.
Too many. Yeah.
But I'd love, like, that is honestly my honest opinion of where we are with the collectors, especially like men for women. But I'd love to know
And
why the vectors of what we for the men, because I only go on like how successful a career that they're going to have, not how good looking they look in shorts or anything like that, because we just don't do that. You know what I mean? So
I think we're a lot of the stuff that we're collecting as a prospect thing is we're basing on what we think their long-term career will look like based on previous careers of people.
100%.
Look at you with Elton Prince,
Yep.
Shawn Michaels,
Yep.
Grayson Law. Oh, we had the rub from Cena, had the rub from Michaels. Like we're kind of prospecting on what we think their career might look like.
but it'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to see what a woman would pick for a man, like, and how they would PC for men, and whether or not this same kind of stereotypicalness in our collecting.
But then again, you got someone
probably not.
No, but you got someone like Kim though, who's like in the CFP. She PCs Roman Reigns, but is she PCing it for the investment because there is a turnaround on Roman Reigns there? Or she doing it because he's a good-looking guy? Do you know what I mean?
There's like that we talked about that Mealing Cathy, who from the Breaker, the Breaker Mayfield ones and the card shot ones. She spends thousands on these legends and the newbies and anyone else that she'd like. But I think why would she? You know what I mean? Like what goes into we don't know enough women in the hobby to make that.
I think this is another sad thing here with this as well, is that there are people buying those cards up of, the diagram as such, knowing that they're going to get a good price on it from the second round because people will pay more for it. And I think that's an element there as well. You've got a lot of people buying up any names of any divas for that same purpose, so they'll get a resale regardless. And I think that's part of it as well, which is creeping in as well.
The thing is, I lean into this because I know that everyone will go for Sol Ruka. The reason being is because she fulfills the 3 pillars. Now, if you look at that, of course, that's potentially going to make you. If you can get it cheap, her cards get it cheap, then it may be a no-brainer going forward because she's going to have more of a chance of becoming successful if she fulfills, what she's going to do going forward. So, but yeah, time will tell.
I would like to revisit this one in a year and
see where the market is.
See where we're at. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
Tiffany Stratton's there with you as well, Chris. Blonde, muscly,
blonde.
Yep. She might do some amazing stuff like on the main roster. If she goes up,
I think we wait till Rumble season and then see where the land lies with all of these cards. I think.
The thing is with the NXT people, I just like the ones that are close to going up, like Bron and Carmelo. I think that they may be a 2-year thing because I still can't like they move too slowly.
They'll get lost in the main roster.
They move too slowly to go up to the main roster. Maybe like even 3 years they might still be in. You know what I mean? Like, but very small percentage of people who go up from NXT to the main roster even make it anymore.
You've also got that crux as well that if they leave WWE and go somewhere else, they become megastars, and then the cards boom. you know.
Well, Roxanne Perez, and I didn't say it, but Chris is Roxanne Perez. I have no. Obviously, she fills the criteria in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. She's a poor man's Cora Jade.
Cora Jade is like. I'm surprised none of us had Cora Jade.
She's a tops rookie though.
And she is.
Jamie.
Yes.
Yeah, I had her originally.
Yes, and that's why.
I had her originally as well.
Chris told me to take her out.
Yes,
yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, sorry, Jamie.
But the thing with Roxanne is that with wrestling, I think she's just her timing's off on her wrestling. Have you watched her wrestle?
Yeah, this is it.
No, I haven't.
I just think she's a bit green still, and she's being pushed already. And I'm like,
she's about 3 steps ahead of herself all the time when I've seen her wrestle, and it's like it looks awkward.
When we can tell, it's not good, is it? Do you know what I mean? Or like, yeah.
I just don't get why some people have just said, "Look, I know you're quick, like you know, you're fast paced, but you need to sometimes slow it down that extra couple of steps in order for it to look good." Yeah. So no Mega 5. I've put it on the run list, but no Mega 5. There's no point. We just
good, because that's going to be another.
Yeah. Hey, you can put Ava all day. I don't mind, man. I think potentially she has the tools to go forward.
There'll always be a special place in my heart for Ava Rain and her fucked up auto. Believe you me.
Hey, Soul Rookers isn't great either, to be honest. But I just haven't seen her enough to make any kind of, other than she is the Rock's daughter. I just haven't seen her at all.
But that's all people are investing in that name. Anyway, we can talk about this for hours, can't we? But yeah, let's go home. Okay. Let's wrap it up.
Right then. So next time round we have Chris. Chris, what's your deal going to be? What's your top 5? What's your big topic going to be?
Top 5. We're looking at art cards, so cartoons, art cards, anything that's not like a real. I don't mind like anything that's not like a real shot.
Okay,
interpret that how you will. This is really going to challenge me, to be honest, because I've never really been down this route at all. So I might Jamie it this time round.
There's some nice cards out there. There's plenty to pick from, though. You should be all right.
There is. And then big topic. What do we say? Well, I mean, we'll have AEW to talk about. I mean, all in. I don't mean their make believe release dates of the 30th of August, but we'll see. I'd love to be able to talk about Skybox Metal, but I just don't see it happening. We'll see.
Well, we're going to be on that all in high, right? So
I think it'll be that week, won't it? So
I think Jamie are going to be like, "Give me the fucking cards or up or down."
Oh, mate, I'm going to scramble up. I want to see what moments. I can't wait to get my Darby Allin leaping off Wembley card. It'd be amazing.
The whole of Wembley card
off the arch.
Build the towers again and jump off those suckers.
Yeah.
Jesus. All right, cool. All right, Jamie, do you wanna rock through our bits and pieces?
Yeah, let's do this. So, again, anyone wants to do the stock up, reach out to me on Facebook. Got lovely Lilina Kai card, so hit me up for that. If you want to join us on Facebook, we are, of course, still accepting members for the Facebook group. Do lots of stuff in there. Chris will let you know what he's doing in there. Lloydy will let you know what he's doing in there. I'll just be posting random stuff in there as we go, but to join the chat, it's all good fun. Lots of us in there, so add to that as we can. Instagram, find us at Squared Circle Relics Pod on Instagram. Keep putting photos up for that, so just have a scroll through. I think we've got like nearly 150 posts on there as well, so we've got lots you can scroll through as well, so head over to that. And if you want to find me, I'm no longer really on Twitter, so just DM me on Facebook.
I saw you on there the other day.
I sneaked on there quickly.
I saw you sneak on.
Right. I deactivated my account with the full intention of not going back. Okay. And then I wanted to go on there, just have a little peek-see at some Wrestling Card Wednesday stuff. And then, anyway, I've now deactivated it once again.
Ooh, he's coming back. No, okay.
I went back to it and then saw how toxic still was within Wrestling Card collectors. And I was like, I'm done. I'm logging out again.
Playing with my camera.
Look.
Go on.
Do you know a little story about the camel?
Go on.
Yeah.
I've got a little toy camel that Jamie gave to me.
Look.
Go on.
So,
Tell me a story about the toy.
Of course, I'm doing like the Slimming World side of things,
Yeah.
and I bought a Kinder Egg yesterday
I thought
as my
it was Kinder
little chocolate
Eggy.
treat.
Yeah. Okay.
And it was the Kinder Egg, and I thought, you know what? I've had one Kinder Egg, I've sinned it, and then you can have the toy.
Lovely.
So how about that?
I thought it was Kinder. It looked because of the way it clips in. And I was like, oh, is that Kinder Egg? Oh, well done. How weird to
right.
actually
So
get
when-
a camel as well. That's mental.
It was really weird that got it in the post office, ate the Kinder Egg as I was doing your Chris's Nook, and then there it goes. Perfect timing. Anyway, so yeah, that's all the socials for me anyway. Don't find me on Twitter. I'm not going back to it. Don't
I'm
entice
not
me
going
either.
back. Okay.
So job done.
Go on.
Yeah, that's it for me.
Go on, Chris.
Yeah, same old for me. Cambridge Trading Cards on Instagram and YouTube. Video went up today. Latest one on YouTube.
I saw it today.
Was another one. Slam Attacks Chrome Hobby. Did you watch it? Sorry, Jay.
I did. I saw it. It's really good.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Thank you.
Nice
yeah,
little numbered.
Nice little rookie in there and a black to 10. So yeah, a bit of the same old from me. Next video, I'm working on something. I'm trying to buy something. And I got outbid last time, but it's come up again. So yeah, something hopefully from myself and potentially Chalky, the Chalk Man, coming soon.
Is it Bret Hart out of 5?
I was going to talk Brett Red, is it? Yeah. That was quick.
Too soon.
I'm off. Yeah, so that's about it at the moment from me. What about you, Dave? Where can we find you?
I do have another purchase that I do need to say thank you to. So this is John Thurman. I bought a couple of evil cards off of him from the latest Stardom release. So I think I've got 3 cards from him. So I can
For life.
I completely forgot. And then Trav's just sent me he's obviously sent them to Trav to send to me. So he's just sent me the picture of them. So I did forget to put them on, but thank you, Trav, for reminding me, because that would have been embarrassing. But yeah, fantastic. Thank you for that. You can find me at D_Lloydy boy. Nobody ever comes and says hello, but that's expected these days. And on Twitter, or X as we call it, I still haven't updated my phone to be X. I'm seeing how long I'm going to keep it on as Twitter and not X. So it's still Twitter on my side, but you might know it as X, and that's at SCR Pod.
Boom.
I think that's about it.
Are we nearly there? Well, Chris, hope you feel better soon.
Thank you very much.
Lloydy, enjoy your break. Enjoy your half term.
Half time with the kids.
And I'll guess next time I see you boys, it'll be down at Wembley, down the old Wembley way.
I might be drunk before you see me. I'm taking beers on the train. You're not allowed to drink on the train these days, are you?
No, I don't think you are. You?
You are.
I think
I don't know. I
you're
just
not allowed
assumed you
anymore.
were.
But
Drink where you want.
be-
Drink
yeah.
where you want.
I'll get a brown bag like they do in America. All right, boys. See ya.
Mate, that train is going to be bouncing. I'll tell you, it's going to be nuts.
It's like a train down to Millwall.
If he's singing there, singing all the songs, scissoring all the passengers and the conductors.
The conductor's getting a good old scissor.
You got your ticket, son? No, I haven't, mate, but you can scissor me.
All right.
Anyway.
Say goodbye,
All right,
everyone.
see you later, lads.
See you later.
Bye.
And fuck John Cena.